Welcome, everyone, this is your friend, the DN What If, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story of What If Nezu asked Deku to lead a UA civil war. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Momo and Kendo are both nervous while checking the PowerPoint they made last night. 4 of them were left in their agency to do this, namely, Iida, Yanagi, Momo and Kendo. They are only given 1 day to fix the mess they did yesterday in front of CEO Hayami. "Hello Yayuruzu-sama, Kendo-sama," the secretary greeted. "Hello," the two said in sync. "Please follow me in the room of board of directors," the secretary said. The two nodded and followed the secretary. They are all quiet and both of them are tense up the moment the elevator's door open. They walk a bit, and they are led to the conference room. "Good luck," the secretary said and left them. The two breaths deeper first before entering the door. They both roam around the room and was shocked to see some familiar face on the right side of the table. "Mi Mirio senpai, Nijire senpai, Tamaki senpai," the two said in sync. Do I know you?" Mirio asked politely. The two was shocked but cleared their throat. Roaming more. Another familiar faces to Momo was seen on the left side of the table. "Inasa-san, Kami-san," Momo whisper. Momo's mind begun to do a lot of what-ifs. She zoned out but was snapped by Kendo. Both parties are allowed to recruit someone outside the hero course. As long as recruit agree with terms. Those who participate outside hero course will have additional grade to their performance to all the subject. They widened their eyes in shock. "This," Momo said in shock as Tokiyami sighed. "Who cares? Not that the other students outside hero course are strong," Monoma commented. "Can't you read between the line?" Tokiyami asked, which earned him numerous glares. "First of all, if you analyze those words, you will see how broad the rules are. It didn't say, as long as they are the student of UA, or, in our grade level. Meaning not only they could recruit the hero course from first year and second year, they could also recruit outside the UA. Some rules have loopholes too, like this one." Tokiyami pointed out another rules. They remember the word of Tokiyami. What if they are also part of the villain team? Momo can't help but to feel anxious to the situation they are in. "You can present now, Yayuruzu-san, Kendo-san," Hayami coldly said to the two. Momo gulped and tried to control herself. It wasn't the time to act recklessly. The two started their presentation. They racked their brains and repeatedly checked the narration of their history, which is the two were happy. The war and their participation in that was included. Their popularity outside the city was also enormous. It's like they base the narration to their future. So, this allows the two to present their achievement high and mighty. The flock, the fact that they are constantly attacked by villains and their success. In other words, their presentation is full of arrogance and showing off. "Can you please stop?" Hayami said, and the two stop. "I really put a lot of faith that you'll present us something good. Create-a-san, Battle Fist-san, your presentation is good, and I could see you put significant effort here. But the thing is, Korotan is a local company. Our influence and business range wasn't going outside this city wall. This presentation might be great and will definitely click if this was presented outside this city," Hayami said, explaining to them. "This city was abandoned by heroes. So, when the war occurred outside, our city wasn't even affected. It's all thanks to the combined effort of 3E. Therefore, your heroic deeds outside wasn't well known here," Mirio added, and the others agreed to them. "This is lit. OMG, Kami said and blow some kisses. "But they are right, my dear. This tactic wouldn't work in this city," she added. "You should consider your standing in this city first before doing this kind of presentation. So, what if you participate in the war? Therefore, what if you are the so-called greatest heroes outside? Those title will not protect you. You're living the illusion that you are invisible. But you can't even put any standing to this city. Wake up." Inasa said, clearly displeased on how they act. "You're acting like a certain hero that I despise, full or arrogance, full of showing off, but only barks and not bite. Villains don't care who you are. As long as they know they can fight you, they will fight you. I'm sorry, CEO Hayami, for being rude, but I will not sign any contract to this self-centered heroes," Inasa said, and stand up. I understand, Yorashi-san, Hayami reply. I could see his point there, this city wasn't fond of heroes, Yoshida said. We give you another chance yesterday and you both disappoint me, Nijire said while shaking her head. Tamaki nodded and sighed. The two was shocked. They did give them a chance, but they let their heads do the task again, and now they are suffering. Not only that, but they failed 4 difficult tasks after that rejection. Hayami-sama, please give us another chance, promise we will do better, Kendo said, practically begging to them. We already give you a chance. Business is business, and our time is precious. We are generous enough to give you a chance yesterday. Because we thought you're struggling in settling here. But it seems like being here for some days, still didn't quite grasp your position. Acting like you're important people, Hayami said in disgust. Call the security to bring them out, Tamaki said, and Kami immediately called the security. The two felt humiliated, and instead of reflecting their faults, the two felt enraged. Their pride was stepped on, so they will take revenge. Momo called Shoto immediately. What happened to your meeting? He asked. We got rejected, but I think we find out the other villain's identity, Momo said and smirked. Not knowing they just fell to another trap of the villains who's currently enjoying themselves in the nearby amusement park. This happens at the same time to Kendo and Momo's scene. Iida and Yanagi is in front of Hatsume Industry. They walk to the front desk and ask for their appointment. The front desk confirmed and told them to go in 7th floor for meeting the vice president of the company, Haribe Itana. The two nodded and went to the 7th floor. They will just need a partnership to this company for their support gears. Some of their gears were destroyed due to villain attack yesterday evening. So, partnership in this company was needed. They knock on the door as a deep voice of Itana was heard saying, "Come in." The place wasn't what Iida expected. He expects a table with chair and not a room full of lab equipment. He also sees Mei, who's working with the man quietly, and she looks conscious in front of him. Not the typical Mei who's too energetic in Iida's opinion. What's your agenda going here, heroes? Itana asked. He didn't even look at them, which makes Iida felt offended. I would appreciate if you're not rude like this in front of us, Iida said, while his hand moved like a robot, up and down. Respect is something you need to earn first, Iida-san. It wasn't like a candy that you are free to give to anyone, Itana replied. Which makes Iida frown again. We deserve to be treated with utmost of respect as we, heroes, are protecting this city, Iida retort. Itana stopped from tinkering and looked at Iida. His eyes are glowing toxic as Mei made her move more quiet. Mei wouldn't lie, she was afraid to their assassin mode. But she also didn't mind, since they didn't hurt her. Protect this city? More like wreaking havoc. You heroes just enter our city 3 days ago, and you cause a lot of trouble already. Or scandal, the archive incident, that you still didn't investigate the cause of the explosion. And the wide chase you've done with 3E. How the hell did you protect this city? Itana asked, challenging Iida to answer. Haribe-sama. I'll deal with them. I'm the boss here, hello. Mei said. Itana just walked back to what he was doing, leaving Iida paralyzed from fear. Hey, H out. What do you need here? Mei said, and grinned. Do you want some babies to use? She asked bubbly. Yanagi even blushed on how bold Mei is. We want partnership to your company for our support, Iida said straightforwardly. Oh, that? Of course, as long as you have money, you'll enjoy the same privilege 3E is enjoying, she happily said while clapping. What do you mean? Yanagi asked frowning. You know, the 3E. We are the main company who handles the 3E's gear. Although we really don't know how did they get their gears after finishing. Well, I don't care since they pay a lot, Mei said, and show them a check. We're on our way to the bank, to change it, Mei said. They looked to each other, looked to Mei. They didn't know these are all plans. Luring them again. What do you mean you're being paid? Yanagi asked again. Did you even read the rule book? Out of my character right now, just telling you, the students who wasn't involved much in the game could open a small business here. Real money what involved, real money was used. You can legitimately buy anything outside like foods and enjoy some entertainment like watching movies in cinema, the amusement park, shopping and many more. There are approximately 50,000 guests here. Some wasn't even a UA student. What do you think they are doing while staying here? Itana asked, which widened the two's eyes. They didn't even realize that indeed, there are plenty of students here too who just walking around and doing what normal civilian is doing, including seeking entertainment. So as long as you have enough money, we'll cater you, Itana said. Then May aggressively nodded. How much then? Iida asked, definitely desperate to get the partnership. 38,500 yen, $301.53, is the minimum depending on how big it is, May said, and grinned. The two widened their eyes on how expensive it was. Then Iida told them that they will talk to Shoto first. Shoto immediately asked them to agree, and he will use Endeavor's card for the repair. So, that's how they got the partnership to the Hatsume industry. Not knowing they are helping the villain to finish 3 difficult tasks by just agreeing to that partnership. Earn 100,000 yen from other parties. Difficult sabotage heroes' support gear without them knowing, difficult. Build a connection to other parties using outside interference, difficult. Thank you for this Hatsume-san, Iida said. Hatsume just nodded and smiled. I apologize for my vice president, he is just like that, she said. Yanagi immediately laughed awkwardly. No, it's fine, he was actually right, Yanagi said. Just some advice, you need to earn some money, Iida-san, it's one of your objective, Itana shouted. Iida just nodded and leave the place. He is a bit irritated on how Itana act in front of him, but he will let it slide since he helped them realize that they need to earn money too in this game. Karasuma-san. Was it okay that they are not doing anything? Snipe asked worriedly. They deserve to relax. Plus they still managed to finish 15 easy, 23 normal and 5 difficult without so much effort for today, Nezu said while grinning. I almost feel pity to heroes who don't have enough rest, unlike villains, Midnight said, and laugh. They are like a headless chicken chasing nothing, Vlad King said and sigh. Aizawa agree, but he felt entertained to see his students' pride getting crushed slowly. Katsuki and Izuku were in disguise. Katsuki chose the hair color of brown and wore glasses, while Izuku chose a white hair and red eyes. Both wore a disguise inspired with their father. Hitoshi just pony-tailed his gravity-defying hair while putting a hoodie. This way, nobody from the heroes will recognize him. The villain team happily went to the amusement park first. They enjoy the rides there and just eat together when the lunch came. After 3 hours, Itana, Mei, Hayami, and Yoshida joined them. Inasa and Kami decided to check the mall while the former Big Three choose to navigate. It's pretty calm among their group and didn't even put some effort for today's day. Those objective they managed to do is only a bonus. It's been a while since I relaxed like this, Kayano said, clearly enjoying herself eating some burger. Agree. There are numerous things to do in our school. This game allows us to rest. Our lessons are pretty hard too. It's also a bit irritating because the school is not as enjoyable as the one we have back in 3E, Katauka said and smiled. Most of them agree with it as they reminisce the past. They all couldn't help but to smile, remembering all the happy memories they had with Koro-sensei. Why not watch those films you did in your class? Or just take a look at your yearbook again, Katsuki said, unamused to them. That's a great idea. Let's watch it later, Kurahashi said while clapping. We will. What do you think, boys? Hara asked. The boys just agree since they wanted to relax a bit too. Toxic, Hitoshi. Izuku asked and Hitoshi looked to him. Are you ready for later? He asked. Hitoshi smiled and nodded. Yeah, the event will start later at 5 p.m. I'm sure some hero team will be there. Null, Isegai, and Luxter, Yada, will also help me when it happens, so don't worry, Hitoshi said as Izuku smiled. Hitoshi's blood can't help but to pump up. He will do a risk objective together with Isegai. Telling his identity and heroes will serve its purpose for today. Not only they intended to slap them with the reality, the three masterminds still wasn't contented to the humiliation that the hero's leader felt. They wanted them to feel how hard the reality could crush them. The plan is Hitoshi will purposely let himself get arrested by the villain. Of course, they will do it in a not so obvious way. Heroes need concrete evidence for them to be able to capture a villain. Otherwise, even if they knew Hitoshi is a villain, he could only be jailed for 2 hours and he will be immediately released. Another purpose of this plan is to let Izuku and Katsuki face the heroes for their 4th day scheme. They will not be able to do anything to them like before. The three strategist is slowly crumbling the mentality and confidence of the heroes. Using schemes, manipulation, and psychology, they are planting in their mind on how those titles they have will not protect them always, and there's always been someone powerful than them. The three strategist of villain team is creating a maze plan with multiple ways how to achieve their goal. They had been planning this for 1 month. Carefully cultivate the plan on how to teach the heroes a lesson they wouldn't forget. With the new information they got, the hero team is getting pumps up to capture the villain, Kaminari, who's one of their computer expert, monitor the cameras and finding the former Big 3 and 2 of Shiketsu student. They immediately found out that the Big 3 is in the park and the 2 Shiketsu student is in the mall. This is so easy, Kaminari grin. Most of them are happy that they will manage to capture some villain for today. Shoto and Kendo are both getting ready for the charity event later at 5 p.m. The two were invited to this charity for the donation they give them. And since they are using Endeavor's card, Shoto didn't really care how much money he wasted from his father's bank account. Momo create them a formal suit as the girls put makeup for Kendo. Just monitor them and we will attack at 7 after we arrive, Shoto commanded. The heroes nodded. Kaide Kayano, their PR, is also really useful for the heroes. She was actually the one to tell their appointments like this because they focus too much on the rules, they forgot to look at their schedules. With Kaide's superior skills, they managed to finish 3 difficult tasks for today. But today, Kaide told them that her friends are invited her to the amusement park, so she can't help them that much for today. They are too pleased to her performance, so they let them. Too bad, they wouldn't know this schedule was given to them by Kaide, so they could help the villain in doing 5 additional difficult tasks. Kaide is really an excellent actress for making the heroes believe she was helping them than what she was actually doing. Who cares if the villain is helping the heroes do their task? It's just a small sacrifices compared to what they would gain using those methods. Villains weren't afraid of taking risk. But doing this, they also deducted, calculated, and predicted the outcome, putting probabilities and logic. The risk will get lower by exponential number. Shoto and Kendo arrive in the charity event. The two were greeted by the host, thanking them for the donation they give. The two just nodded and went inside. Shoto could see that the event looks like the business party he often attended with Endeavor. The food was served to their table as they watched the stage. This is a bit boring, Todoroki-san, Kendo said and sighed. She just took some juice to drink because they don't know that much people in UA. Just endure it, it's not that bad like those party I went, Shoto said. Kendo sighed and just wait for the party to finish, chanting that they need to finish this since it's a difficult task. And now, let's welcome the person who had the biggest donation out of all our donators in this party. He's been the owner of the biggest security guards agency in our beloved Demon City. Please welcome Shinso Hitoshi-sama. Everyone clap while the two widen their eyes. They remember the words of Ojiro and Shoji. Shinso Hitoshi is one of the villains. Shoto's temper is slowly raising as he picks up his phone to call the HQ. Sir, someone asks from the HQ. Prepare a team to surround the building where we are. We found Shinso Hitoshi, Shoto commanded. Then the line was cut. Shoto clenched his fist and grin, looking grimly at Hitoshi. When we capture you, we could fish a lot of information to you, Shoto said. Looking at him, Hitoshi also looked to Shoto, challenging him to stare to him and smirk. This only makes Shoto and Kendo lose another control to themselves. Thank you Kotaru-san, to all my fellow donators. I am happy that I become part of this party. I love to see the money I donate will go to someone who needed it. It's an honor to serve our city that had been abandoned by heroes. We survived 10 years without them thanks to our beloved 3E. With their sacrifices, let's honor them and make our city prosper than those city that had been supported by HPSC. Make them realize we don't need them, just like the 10 years we all been through, Hitoshi said, clearly provoking Shoto and Kendo. The two clench their fist, slowly rationalizing to themselves. This deeds is not even par to the sacrifices the 3E did. But even with these smallest act of kindness, if we combine it, this will result a better place for us to live. Let's support each other and help those people that 3E protects. A lot of cheer was heard as they chant 3E. The two are getting angrier, but endure the whole party until it finish. Hitoshi just casually went out and will actually enter his car when Ibara, Kaminari, Shiro, Shoto and Kendo surrounds him. Shinso. You're under arrest, Shoto said coldly. Huh? What did I do? He asked, acting confused to them. Just come with us, Shiro said, looking angry to him. What Hitoshi did was actually unexpected when he boldly opened his car and drove it. Kaminari went back to their car and chased Hitoshi. There is not that much of car in the road as Hitoshi grinned and pressed the accelerator and drove in high speed. The group of heroes chase. Kaminari, who wasn't good in high-speed chase, is struggling not to get in accident. High-speed driving requires a lot like good maneuver, sharp eyes, balance, and focus. This was one of the training he did with the others, which makes them all a good driver. Not only they focus on skills for battle, but also in useful skills like driving. Shiro and Ibara tried to capture his car using their vines and tape, while Shoto tried to aim his road. Good thing is he is good in maneuver. He pressed the accelerator more and drove in front of the police station. He stopped there waiting for the heroes who had a struggle to stop the car. They created a lot of smoke by just stopping it, which is one of Terasaka's don't list while driving in high speed. It might cause an accident and create countless problems for the car. Aside from its destructive, it might restrain the motor of the car too. You, Shoto angrily said. Look, Hiro-san, I don't know why you would arrest me. So I just deliver myself in front of police station. It's a high risk for me if you put me to your agency. If I was found innocent, not only I could sue you of illegal detention but also harassment and kidnapping. I call my lawyer, so let's go inside and explain to me why the hell you want to arrest me, Hitoshi said, really don't care to them. He went inside and sat on the front desk. The hero was greeted by the police as they follow. Chief, jail this man, he is a villain, Kaminari said while grinning. Hitoshi just rolled his eyes. Oh, what happened? Isegai asked, confused. I will not speak until my lawyer arrive. My word could be used against me, Hitoshi said, crossing his arms. Just 10 minutes passed. Yada enters the police station. She looks like a professional lawyer with a stoic face. May I require what my client violated law? She asked. Isegai looked to the heroes who was also frustrated. He is a villain. We have a witness who's in the hospital, Kaminari shouted. We can't claim someone's word true without physical evidence. We don't have Tsukachi Naomasa of Mustafu to interrogate them and claim if they are saying truth, Yada replies. May I see if you have physical evidence that he is a villain? Like picture, video, CCTV footage, recording, documents? Isegai asked. The heroes just stay silent. They don't have any of it. You can't just accuse someone as villain if you don't have concrete evidence. We can sue you of slander. Yada shouted to the heroes. Most of them are clenching their fist because of it. He also violates the speed limit requirement. You can see it to CCTV camera. Kendo shouted, which everyone felt they could jail Hitoshi. I am the head of the biggest security guard agency, Shinso Hitoshi, he said, and grinned. I see, Isegai said and nodded. What, why not jail him now? Kendo asked, clearly dissatisfied to what's happening. My client founded the biggest security guard agency. Due to his job he had a license to revoke the law about speed limit. Meaning my client is completely immune to traffic law with his license, and that includes speed limit, Yada said, which paled them all. Shinso just smirked with them because of what happened. The heroes look all sour and clenching their fist. They got overwhelmed to what happened. Just how did Shinso manage not to claim he wasn't a villain when someone already saw him? Fire Freeze-san, you need concrete evidence to officially jail someone. It's already been like that. Even if you know he is a villain, you can't do anything against them unless you have strong evidence to present, Isegai explained. Yada and Shinso nodded. We can only detain him here for 4 hours. If you manage to find any evidence against him, we'll jail him. Shinso-san, will you please cooperate and stay here for a while? Isegai asked again. Sure, I don't mind, but I demand an apologies the moment they can't prove that I am guilty. Not only they are wasting my time, they also harass me. What do you think, Yada-san? Should I file some case to them? Shinso asked, looking at Yada. Of course, and I am sure we can gather enough evidence to jail them, especially with your quirk and method. Yada replied. Shinso nodded as he looked at the heroes. Are you still going to find evidence to jail him? Isegai asked the heroes. They nodded and went out to find any evidence to jail Shinso. Shoto is clenching his fist, really mad that he just remembered what Izuku said. One of the main objective of heroes is to capture the villain alive. You'll be deducted some points if the villain die. But, you can't capture a villain if you don't have evidence that will prove they are a villain. Aside from that, you'll be dealing what pro heroes are dealing in everyday life. Meaning you will deal with paperworks, interviews, and your fans. I should listen to that man before, Shoto said and sighed. The heroes went back to the HQ and find a footage of Shinso to their footage. But they didn't know that Ritsu always manipulate the footage they could get to their computer. She constantly changes all the traces and movement of her group. So, in other words, heroes waste more time finding evidence against Shinso. They went back to the police station, where they see Isegai talking to Shinso while clearing him. What they felt that time is utterly humiliation to the fact that even if they know Shinso is a villain, they can't do anything to him. If the archive is still available, this could also help them to identify the villains. It's one of the main reasons why villain bombed the archive in the first place. Heroes are all exhausted, they all look worn out, feeling humiliated, agitated, and some of them felt defeated. The girls cook a feast for them to cheer them up. While some boys brought a soda in the convenience store. They all felt happy to be able to eat. Not knowing, an odorless and colorless poison was put to the pantry. They chat while eating as the poison started to spread inside their bodies. 3/4 of them choose to drink soft drinks while the other 1/4 choose the water. This 1/4 members of Heroes was extremely lucky to drink the water since the water tank had the antidote. Kayano was with them as the heroes invited her to eat. Of course Kayano accepted as she knew the poison will enter their system now. While they happily chat after eating, Kaminari and Mina stopped from laughing and started to get nausea. They got followed by the others too. While vomiting all they ate, those 1/4 is panicking. Kayano pretended to panic too while looking at them amusingly. "I think you got poison," she shouted. She commanded them to prepare a van, and she'll drive them to the nearest hospital. All the 1/4 members nodded and prepare a van from the parking lot. They guide the others to the van as Kayano drove them to the hospital. She drove in high speed as they reach it. The hospital immediately accommodate them and send them an emergency room. "How come they got poison while we're not?" Pony asked, who's one of the 1/4 who didn't get poison. "I feel so sleepy," Toru said and yawned. The others agreed too as they started to find a place to the hospital to sleep. Shoto, who's also fighting his urge to sleep, looked at Kayano. "What are you doing? Who's in your phone?" he asked. "The police station. I'm calling them to investigate this poisoning and how it happens. We all eat together, the drinks were brought in convenience store but some of us didn't get poison. It's extremely suspicious how it happens, so let's acquire the service of the police detective to this matter. We also need to suppress the news of you all being poisoned. It will be bad for your image," Kayano said, and Shoto accepted. Not knowing, Isegai already know what to do and go to the hero's agency to investigate the crime scene. Kayano didn't need to call them. The one she was calling is Okajima and Mimura. Both of their alter ego is from the media. Kayano gave them the code to hack the recording of heroes being poisoned. Spread it and let the medias do their job. Exaggerate the scandal. The villain team, on the other hand, was delighted. They went back to their HQ while the others who had a task to do already leave, like Kayano, Yada, Shinso, and Isegai. Okajima and Mimura will have a task later, but they stay for a while to watch some silly videos of Koro-sensei. Of course, some were emotional and some choose to just remember their shenanigans. Koro-sensei is always part of their lives. The reason they're what they are now. After some hours, Okajima and Mimura went out to do their job on spreading what happened to the heroes. "Can someone guess?" Karma asked after they finish another video. "Guess what?" Okuda asked curiously. "What the heroes will do to the information they got in Koroten Enterprises with what happened with Toxic, Shinso," Karma said. All of them think as Nakamura grin. "I think they will still decide a wrong move. I mean, we exhaust them. Their mind will be hasty and will not function at its peak. You know, exhaustion is a bitch," Nakamura said. They started to agree with her. "But what if, just what if they decided the other way?" Takebayashi asked them. "Then all we could do is to work what's presented to us. We are all flexible to any situation given to us. No matter how disadvantaged we get before we manage to surpass those. Kurohashi said, and they all agree. It's only 5 p.m. Why not we cook some snacks? Muramatsu said. The villain team had grinned on their face and pushed Katsuki, Izuku, and Muramatsu on the kitchen. Cook some feast. Okay. We'll buy some ingredients in the nearby grocery, Nakamura said as Kurohashi giggled, followed by the girls. The girls immediately went out to buy foods while the boys volunteered to decorate the common area a bit. Sato and Koda were also invited, which they both shyly accepted. After the talk with Katsuki, they both decided to join the villain. Of course, the villain accepted them to open arms. Especially, Izuku already told them it's safe to let them join. With Izuku's affirmation, they didn't hesitate to welcome the two. Sato offers to bake some cake, while Koda just join on arranging their common room for a quick party. The four in the kitchen just prepare for the feast, and with Izuku's quirk, they manage to slow the time outside the kitchen and finish plenty of dishes in short span of time. By the time 6:30 p.m. arrives, they finish everything. They specifically did some pudding for Kayano as they watched some news intended only for the game. Another news of heroes being poisoned was delivered, which makes Karma laugh. Those two, they achieved impressive results, Karma said laughing. Just let them for now, let's go party, Izuku said. They all grin and start the party. When 9 p.m. arrive, those who wasn't with them join in. They play spin the bottle, truth or dare, never I had ever, and of course, they dance. The couples in their group, of course, had to dance to each other. Like the straight couples Sugino and Kanzaki, Hayami and Chiba, Kataoka and Isegai, and O+ couple like Katsuki and Izuku, Karma and Nagisa, Kaide and Okuda, Terasaka and Idana. Most of them just stay single and was supportive to the couples who got formed because of what happened to them. Although their relationship wasn't that obvious, especially they didn't change a lot when they got together. Most of them looks like civil to each other and will even realize it, but if you join them together, you'll observe that they had some type of kinship and were extremely close. They cheer up for the couples while Idana started to insult Terasaka again. The others like Karma and Nakamura started to tease other couples, but they will retort back by teasing them too. Overall, their team had a great night until 10 p.m. arrive, and they gave the summary of the third day. Wait. There are couples in the villain team. 13 ask in shock looking to the villains who's having a party. Yeah, wasn't that obvious? Karasuma asked. No, we didn't think that way. Besides, they all came from different schools, so we thought they are just civil. I thought they just got close because they have been with each other for a month, Vlad King explained. Are you dumb? With the level of familiarity they had when they first met, and the fact that they didn't even bother to introduce themselves to each other already give a hint that they knew each other beforehand, Aizawa said, making Vlad King a bit embarrassed. It's true that they have a different school in their high school, but they attend the same middle school. Those kids, they already experience a lot that the other normal kids didn't. I'm glad these kids grew up maturely, Irina said with a fond smile on her face. That's my kids, okay, she shouted and laughed. Midnight cooed to herself, being moved to how wholesome Irina looks. The others just swear, drop because of their antics. The fact that they still managed to finish these amount of tasks without much effort for today only adds to their capabilities. I wonder why these kids wanted to avoid being a hero, all might ask. They looked to Karasuma and Irina, who knows the kids of villain team than others. Just like Irina said, this kid's already experienced something normal kids shouldn't. I think some of them were just running and some of them wanted to pursue those skills their fallen teacher groomed. They had a career orientation with him, and had a serious conversation about it. I think it also influences them to pursue it rather than being a hero, Karasuma replied. The teachers nodded as President Mike readied himself to announce the summary of day 3. Hey, how's everyone went? Since most of the heroes are in hospital, I will announce the summaries here in the Watch for Heroes. Let's see how you performed today, President Mike started. Right now, Pro-Hero Rule and Pro-Hero Mines are confirmed eliminated by Police Department. 2 Pro-Heroes whose missing Pro-Hero Sugarman and Pro-Hero Anima is now declared death by default. Remember, they are confirmed dead, but if other parties found out these 2 are still alive, it's possible. So, Heroes had 4 confirmed death for today. 21 members of Heroes were poisoned and recuperating in hospital all in all. Heroes have 22 inactive members, 7 active, 9 deaths out of 38 members. This is a disadvantage to hero team, Present Mic announce. Those 7 active members are all sleepy and had no energy to react. But inside their hearts, they are bearing grudges to the villain for the humiliation they felt. Making objectives is pretty decent. They managed to finish 58 easy tasks, 18 normal tasks and 8 difficult tasks. Overall, you have 469 points. None for day 1, 125 for day 2 and 344 for day 3. Congratulations, Present Mic said. They felt disappointed to their score even if it's slightly higher compared to their day 2. Of course, villain team, you look so wholesome for today. Even if you decided to take a rest, your performance is also great, though not as impressive as yesterday. Villain team is still completely intact when it comes to members. 32 out of 32 members are still all active, Present Mic said with beam. Clearly siding to the villain and adding more grudge to hero's heart. As for objectives, you complete 43 easy tasks, 31 normal and 14 difficult. Overall points 1,109, 33 points for day 1, 648 for day 2 and 424 for day 3. Congratulations and oh. You all look cute together, Present Mic said and chuckle. Just hearing that the villain already reached the 1K threshold, they all felt defeated already. Name, villain name, Quirk Izuku Midoriya. Cryptid, enhance all for 1, enhance replicate. Katsuki Bakugo, KEM, explosion karma akabane, chaos, temperature manipulation. Nagisa Shiota, snake, empathy projection kaide kayano, facade, truthful lies. Yuma Isegai, null, attract taiga okajima, void, photography snapshot. Hinata Okano, red, bone shifter Minami Okuda, chemical breakdown. Megu Katauka, lady killer, not yet announce. Yukiko Kanzaki, player, connect. Masayoshi Kimura, curse, footwork Hinano Kurahashi, ladybug, enhance senses. Sosuke Sugaya, tainted, not yet announce. Tomohito Sagino, butcher, sharp night vision. Kotaru Takebayashi, demolish, hand procedure Hitoshi Shinso, toxic, brainwash. Ryonosuke Chiba, poison, pain details Ryoma Terasaka, berserk. Ryo Nakamura, dame, sound imitation Karaka Hazama, darkness, black. Rinka Hayami, vision, target projectile Sumair Hara, slaughter, not yet announce. Yazuki Fua, deduct, not yet announce. Hiroto Mehara, gun, not yet announce. Koki Mimura, knife, visual editing Takuya Muramatsu, lethal, chef's kiss. Itana Haribe, shame, process Tokayata, luxter, convince. Taze Yoshida, chain, not yet announce. Mei Hatsume, jazz, zoom. Ritsu, knowledge, none chapter text at 3 in the morning, the villain team is already waking up. Mimura, Hitoshi, and Katsuki film another video for later. Kayano and Isegai both went to the hospital to check the villains. Takebayashi and Okuda both went with them, wearing a full doctor get-up. Okuda is visibly nervous, but Kaide immediately helped her girlfriend to calm down. I know you can do it, Nami-chan. I believe in you, Kaide said, kissing Minami's forehead. Minami gave her a kind smile and went to the hospital. Okuda and Takebayashi both have injection for 6 students. They ask who eats a lot from the food yesterday, and they got the list. 5 of those who eats a lot will be killed in the hospital early in the morning. Kaide went immediately to where the heroes who managed to drink the antidote are sleeping. She made sure that they will not wake up immediately when the 2 get there. Kaide gave the 2 a signal before sneaking out inside. Kaide immediately went out so no one will find out they know each other. Okuda and Takebayashi both had a surgical mask and a hairnet when they sneak out inside, with Ritsu's signal that the camera was already hacked. The 2 inject a poison in 5 of them. Mina, Denki, Siro, Pony, and Ibara were those 5 heroes they kill. Minami felt nervous, even if she knew the poison is not harmful. She just sighed and was happy that she managed to do her task. The 2 went back to their post inside the hospital, acting like nothing happened. It will be fine, now we will just wait for Isegai, so we could introduce ourselves to them later. You did great, Takebayashi said, who's checking the computer of the hospital that time. Takebayashi's quirk is called hand procedure. It allows him to have a muscle memory of something his hand did for the first time. For example, the procedure on how to dismantle the guns was taught to him step by step. The second he does it, his hands will automatically remember how he did for the first time. It's extremely useful, especially in explosive, which is Takebayashi's strong set of skills. I'm just nervous that I will face them later, Okuda said and sighed. She was nervously biting her nail because of it. Takebayashi tapped her shoulder and smiled to her. Facade, Kaide, will with you later, I'm sure she'll help in any matter, Takebayashi said, which makes Okuda sigh and smile back. Asterisk, the hospital staff found the heroes being dead after an hour. Their body went to full convulsion as their body gets paled. The staff did their best to stop it, but after their body stopped from shaking, their pulse went low. They declare them dead immediately. Recovery girl even need to go since the students thought the 5 heroes will actually die. But after recovery girl checked them, the poison that Okuda gave them only have a temporary effect. It's an antidote from the first poison she used to them, but their body will react like that and will slow their pulse for 1 hour, but all in all, it's a harmless poison. But recovery girl immediately called Present Mike to announce 5 heroes was killed about an hour ago. I just woke up, but there's already casualties. Pro Hero Chargebolt, Pro Hero Pinky, Pro Hero Cellophane, Pro Hero Rocketty, and Pro Hero Vines were eliminated out of the game. Present Mike announced, waking up 3 out of 7 who drank an antidote. Kendo, Shoto, and Momo. They all look weak and still a bit sleepy, but their mind is now working well. OMG, are you all okay? Kaide asked worriedly to the 3 of them. I was just eating in the canteen below when the nurse told me that 5 of your comrades die. We already call a police to investigate and Chief Isegai informed us that his team found something in the crime scene, Kaide said. The 3 nodded and smiled to her. Thank you, Momo said and smiled. You're welcome, by the way, 2 of my friends are here. They checked on you a while ago and were in the process of creating a drug to remove your fatigue. I still don't know why the 8 of us wasn't affected by the poison when we all eat the same food, Kaide said and sighed. After some time, Isegai went inside their hospital room as the others who managed to drink the antidote woke up. Kamakiri, Bondo, Koroiro, Shoto, Kendo, Su and Ochako. I'm glad you are all awake. We investigate your agency to know how you all got poisoned. It turns out your food pantry was poisoned by an unknown. We tried to find out who did it, but your CCTV camera didn't get tampered. By looking around, it seems like the villains used the vent to go in your pantry, Isegai said, which shocked them. But all of us ate. Wire weren't poison? Ochako asked as she shouted to Isegai in frustration. Because your water tank was filled with antidote and was mixed with certain type of sleeping potion. Because of this, you all got sleepy but lucky enough to drink the antidote. Those who eats a lot had a higher chance to die, and they did. 5 from your team died an hour ago. Isegai explained. The 7 of them was furious to what happened, and now, there is a lot of them who's inactive right now. We already give the antidote to the management here, they will be alright later. I'm sorry, this is only the things we can help you with. It might be the 3E's doing. Especially you didn't do your job correctly. It seems like they are reminding you that they can kill you wherever you are. Be careful because 3E is someone we can't afford to mess with, Isegai said. Kaide enters with Okuda and Takebayashi, then introduce them to the heroes. The 2 politely introduced themselves and told them about the potion that Okuda and Takebayashi did to remove their fatigue. The heroes quickly took it and drank. After 30 minutes they got better and thanked the 2. Okuda is visibly nervous, but Kaide just told them that Okuda has always been shy, which is true. You all can be discharged for an hour. Good luck to your mission, Takebayashi said as they all nodded. Asterisk, so let's see how many tasks we already finish. Knowledge, Ritsu, give me the data of the summary of the task we finish from day 1 to 3, Karma said. He was focused on the papers in the table while the others are busy in creating another video. He didn't even care when Katsuki and Hitoshi walk in front of him carrying a box of explosive and guns, as they will attack with the heroes later. Okay, Ritsu said and changed her screen into the summary of their task. Day 1 overall points, 33 easy, 1 task complete. Points, 3 points normal. 2 task complete points. 10 points. Difficult. 2 task complete points. 20 points Day 2. Day 2 overall points. 648 points easy. 34 task complete. Points. 102 points normal. 39 task complete points. 195 points. Difficult. 35 task complete pointy 3 Day 3 overall points. 424 points. Easy. 43 task complete points. 129 points normal. 31 task complete. Points. 155 points difficult. 14 task complete points. 140 points. Summary overall points. 1109 points easy. 78 task complete. Points. 234 points normal. 71 task complete points. 355 points. Difficult. 52 task complete points. 520 points overall task complete. 201 task complete. Percentage. 67% complete. Not bad for 3 days. Our task is already 67% complete. We might focus on difficult for today and sabotage the hero's objective too, he said, grinning like a devil. He looked to their task and the initial plan they made during the preparation. They alter it a bit during the game, but it's still following the plan like they predicted. For the Brain Squad, heroes are all predictable. They can read them, and how they decide is always within the possible movement they presented during the preparation. This game will be finished within a week rather than 2 weeks, Karma said to himself. Knowledge, Ritsu, the hit list please. Karma said again. Ritsu didn't reply but put the hit list of the class 3A and 3B. I really don't know how to make the picture appear here loudly crying. Class 3A Class 3B, 7 kill both class. How's Pro Hero Tentacle and in Pro Hero Tailman? Karma asked again. Reporting to Chaos, they will be discharged tomorrow. Ritsu said. Karma looked to the objective again. Tell Chemicals, Okuda, and Demolish, Takebayashi, to do everything to discharge the two. I'll talk to Yaorashi later for a showdown with my arrogant brother. Karma said. Ritsu nodded as Karma still looking at the objectives. Yep, it's time for sabotaging the heroes while they only have 8 active members. And oh, before I forgot, Knowledge, Ritsu, tell Facade, Kayano, and Null, Isegai, to work with Void, Okajima, and Knife. Mimura. To control the media. We'll paint dirt to the hero's reputation again. Make sure to ask them to continue on presenting themselves as ally. We will finish the 48 difficult task for today, Karma said. Ritsu chuckled and nodded. Karma chuckled, preparing for the chaos they will do. He looked at the map of the fake city and focused on one part of the city. Demon City High Prison. Hey, I wonder how powerful those who choose to be a prisoner, he said as a dangerous glint from his eyes started to show. Katsuki is winching the entire time, limping as he walked throughout the common room. While he was suffering to these pain, a lot of former Class 3E is looking at him meaningfully. What the fuck, don't look at me, you're creeping me out, Katsuki burst out in irritation. Nakamura, Kurohashi, and Hara also giggle as Nakamura tap his shoulder. How did you two even do it? There are a lot of cameras here, she asked, grinning as her eyebrows repeatedly went up and down. Shut up, Katsuki said as he blushed. His ears are all red too as Izuku looked at them with satisfied smug. Come on, tell us, Kurohashi asked. It only makes Katsuki blush furiously as the boys laugh. In the bathroom, Izuku said and grinned. Katsuki can't really look to the others, especially after their night activity. You sneaky bastard, Sugaya said, laughing so hard. Katsuki shouted to them, but they all just laugh while Izuku smile and defend his lover. The teasing died down when they start filming another video. After filming, Katsuki could feel how exhausted his body is. Izuku helped him by taking it out using someone's quirk that he copies from someone. Katsuki just snuggled to Izuku's neck after he does it and Izuku started to see what Karma did to the objective. Nagisa was out of the picture right now, as he was with Sagino and Kanzaki. All of them are in school doing some difficult task. After filming, Sugaya and Kimura went to the National Museum of the Fake City. Hayami and Muramatsu went to the food lane, who's under the Koroten Enterprises. Terasaka, Yoshida, and Meihara all went to the downtown where the villain bots were hiding. Karara, Kataoka, and Nakamura all went to the high-class lane. Chiba, Hara, Fuwa, Yada and Okano went to the high prison, observing the security of the place. Itana, Hitoshi, and Mei is in Hatsume industry taking out numerous gadgets they did for 3 days and those they did from the preparation. These villains are preparing to complete all the difficult tasks for today and all of them are getting ready, taking the opportunity to strike now that heroes are in their weakest point. Katsuki, Izuku, and Karma are now in front of the camera guiding everyone for the big show Karma wanted to present in front of the heroes. The screen in the whole demon city that advertise ads all blackout. The student who see it and memorize the signals and symbols of the villain is fully cooperating to them. Of course, it wasn't free. Nezu indirectly told them that they need to follow the narration very well and a generous grade will be given to them. Who doesn't want grades? UA's standards is already high enough so students are really working hard to maintain their privilege as UA students. Of course grade is something that pump them up in participating here. The good roles you get, the high performance grade will be given to you. It's the reason that's why even the prison of the fake city had a lot of students. Most of them came from second year and first year hero course who will have another type of final exam. They are all grateful not to have this kind of detailed final exam. But all of them also felt that they will not be able to do what the villains do for this exam if ever it become their test as third year. Of course, the other student from other courses also didn't allow to just let the entire hero course to shine. Some of them took the major role like in police station, hospital, schools, firefighter and more. All in all, the city is a functional city that was run by all the students. Money is also circulating, business course took the opportunity to have profits. This test is the biggest test that UA made in the history. With the screen blacking out, the symbol of 3E suddenly appeared to each of that screen. All the students stopped from doing anything. It is one of the symbol that they memorize before going inside the venue. Some of them felt thrills, some felt as if they are acting in drama and doing their best to fit their roles. My beloved citizen, I'm afraid to tell you that once again, the heroes failed to save this city. They are now on the hospital, laying on their bed because they had been poisoned in their own agency. This not only made them look fool but also speak that their capability is something that lack in the levels this city needs. Katsuki started. The students gossiping how did hero team look as if they are failing. Some of them is now genuinely doubting their skills that they show in war. Some was observing, others are plainly just doing their business. But they are right, President Mike's summary was also heard by them. And by comparing the two team, villains are doing excellent job while heroes are struggling. Just how did it happen? The class 3A and 3B was dubbed as greatest heroes after the war. Why they can't defeat the villains? They didn't even know who's the villain is but hearing their performance makes them admire all them by fighting to their heroes. It is their mindset before, but now, a lot of them are doubtful. Was the class 3A and 3B is the one that really ends the war before? The only one who's performing great in their eyes is Katsuki Bakugo who's the leader of villain team. They admire him more by leading his team into victory. The symbol of victory really live up of his name. No matter how unfair the game, especially being against the strongest in their eyes is already admirable. What's more that he is doing a great job. Now, I want to personally deals this with my own hand. My beloved 3E is now spreading to the entire city, waiting for my signals. I want everyone to leave the red marks within 1 hour, so no citizen will hurt, just calmly do it. No one will get hurt not on my watch, Katsuki said really looking regal and intimidating. But most of them was shocked that the blonde was capable of creating a sentence without a curse. This is also the second time they saw him in such an odd expression, and it's refreshing. The first time they saw it is in day 2 where he declared that he will kill some heroes. They thought that Katsuki was really into his character right now. Prepare for a good fucking show, fucker. Katsuki grinned in the camera before it went back to the ads. Well, or so they thought. The citizen is now calmly walking or traveling out of the red marks. While the 8 of the active heroes are trying to locate that place. They don't know a lot about the maps and was running headless checking the possible place. They can't find where it was. Aside from their computer expert, Kaminari was already killed. None of them knows how to operate the complicated monitor room. Most of them also worried for their foods, but Kaide shamelessly told them about the grocery store that their team is managing for their foods. Of course, Shoto purchased their food. After an hour, they are shocked to see the National Museum, school, and the zoo explode together. They are all shocked with this and immediately split into 4 teams and check the area. Oi, oi, oi. Looks who's here. I've been waiting to see you again. Todoroki Shoto. Shoto looked at the place where he heard the voice. He was with Koroiro the time he went there. Who are you? Shoto asked. Karma smirked and slowly removing his hood, where his mask and night vision glasses was attached. His face was now visible to Shoto's eyes. Karma had a devilish grin while playing a blunt knife in his hand. It looks cool that he was walking from the smoke with his villain clothes. Shoto on the other hand, even with their different eyes, hair and facial structure, his appearance felt as if he was looking to his own reflection. Who are you? Shoto could feel fear while looking to Karma. The temperature is getting lower and lower. He didn't mind since he was familiar to it. But Koroiro can't. Fire freeze, please lower the temperature, I can't handle the cold anymore, Koroiro said. He even merged to Shoto's shadow just to protect himself from the cold. It's only the time when he saw Inasa beside Karma who's walking with serious face. You? Shoto shouted in shock. I should have listened to Momo when she said you're part of the villain, Shoto said, gritting his teeth. Because of the drop of temperature, the fire is now creating a mist-like smoke. Inasa regulates his wind so the smoke will not affect his eyes. Karma is still grinning like a devil. I wonder how strong you are. Twin brother, he said and laughed. Karma and Inasa both run to the two. Shoto immediately sent his ice to them. But Karma is laughing as he gripped the ice like nothing and it breaks as water. Don't you know, you have a twin? Our mother is in verge of insanity the time she was carrying us. When we born in this world, she immediately sent me to another family as she doesn't want me to suffer for Enji's neglect and abuse, Karma said, just dodging all the ice that Shoto's sending him. He is breaking it as water every time he touch it. Inasa also did the tactic with his wind. Koroiro saw this an opportunity trying to merge in Karma's shadow. But Karma mercilessly shot Koroiro's shoulder without looking at him. He was still in the shadow form, but this didn't hinder Karma's good aim. He didn't even look at him while pointing a gun to Koroiro. You think you can sneak out with me? Hey. You can't even erase your presence, much less you bloodlust. I'm surprised you have those, especially you're a hero course students. You intended to kill me, Karma chuckled. He hit Koroiro's morality and backed down immediately. Intent to kill him. How come you're a hero? Heroes don't kill as they could. Why are you imitating bloodlust? You should be the villain, not us. We're fighting here without those. Not that we need it, Karma said, mocking Koroiro while still doing the dodge from Shoto's eyes. Shut up, Koroiro shouted. He merged to the darkness again. Because of the mist, Koroiro has a chance to merge in the ground. Not that Karma care. He could still feel it since he could feel anything within the range of place his quirk activates. Inasa now grinned, looking to Shoto, who's panting and had some frostbite to his face. You know, I hate your father. Then after seeing you in recommendation test, I thought your eyes looked like Endeavor. But I compromise, maybe you weren't. I was wrong when we saw each other in provincial license. You're full of yourself, full of pride, just like why you hate him, but you are acting exactly like him. You are not hero, Shoto Todoroki, the ice version of Endeavor, Inasa said and blasted a wind to Shoto. Shoto lost his balance and was carried away by the strong wind and rolled over, his abdomen to bleed out after hitting a debris from the rubble of National Museum. He spit some blood because of this. Nay, we just killed 5 a while ago. I think it wouldn't hurt us to kill another one, Karma said. He laughed and didn't hesitate to kill Koroiro, who jumped from behind just to get Karma. The fake blood flowed to his head. Shoto widened his eyes when he see the expression of Koroiro. His eyes are wide, as his body drop out. You murderer, Shoto shouted. He screamed as the fire from his left side exploded. Due to him suppressing his fire, it burst out of control. Karma and Inasa wasn't affected since the two regulates their quirk to kill the fire. You're weak. Not only your pride and ego is bigger than All Might's buff form, you are also stupid, self-centered person I ever met. Damn, Even Katsuki had some decency when we met him. He is arrogant, yes, but he knew his limit and lacking, unlike you who's full of yourself. Karma went down and lifted Shoto's head. You may have a powerful quirk, but you will not be able to even one to any of us in one-on-one battle. You all stop from working hard and already satisfied to your own abilities because those vultures fed up some bullshit to your head. Hey, you are still nothing but a student who have a lot of potential but wasted it a lot just because of some stupid titles. Even All Might the #1 hero before your father for 20 years still stay humble, unlike you who didn't do much in war but praises to something they didn't do, Karma said and grinned. Why don't we decorate your face? Karma said, showing some wasabi and mustard pack while grinning devilishly. Inasa dropped his jaw and didn't manage to react immediately when Karma put Shoto into tight rope. He made Shoto's nose wide open and put those pack to Shoto's nose. The scream from Shoto is ths only one that snapped to Inasa. After seeing Shoto's state, Inasa laughed loudly and can't stop. As soon as he tried to stop it, he will see Shoto's sorry state while his nose is leaking some wasabi and mustard. He will laugh again. Shoto blacked out from shock and fainted as Karma looks smug with his masterpiece. That looks better. Karma took his phone and take a lot of pictures with Shoto as he grinned. Inasa joined the picture taking while laughing and took some picture too. Karma even need to give him a water just to calm down from laughing. I still need him alive, specially for the fireworks later. Nezu, that rat did this on purpose. I'm sure he's the one who wrote this objective, Karma said and grinned. Humiliate one of the hero team leader without retaliate difficult. Irina and Midnight are both blushing to the conversation of the 3E. Some was taken aback and others are shocked. I mean, their place is full of camera, but Katsuki and Izuku even managed to sneak out to have some fun time. Some of them even want to find the footage, but Nezu stopped them, saying they wouldn't see anything nor hear anything, as Izuku made sure to do so. Gah! I didn't know they're this thirsty. Midnight giggled while flush was still visible to her face. I know, right? This sneaky bastard. Did they even use some protection? Irina added. But how sexy it was. I mean, it's OMG my Fujoshi heart. The other UA staff look away, looking guilty that their imagination went wild. They even imagine Midnight and Irina's eyes shape into heart on how they squeal. They continue to watch the game until the speech of Katsuki was broadcast. He really looks cool there, Midnight squealed like a teen. That's my son-in-law, Irina happily shouted, grinning like a proud mommy. It seems like we are going to watch an exciting day 4. Nezu said and grinned. After an hour, a series of explosions happened. They saw how heroes and villain move. But villain's movement is much wider. It seemed like they are going to the high prison too, Aizawa said, grinning too like Nezu. Look at the screen number 4 everyone, Snipe said. Everyone looked at screen number 4 and saw Karma and Inasa start fighting with Shoto and Kuroiro. Then a loud shock was heard throughout the observation room. They are shocked when Karma revealed his identity. Do you know about this? Ectoplasm asked. Karasume shake his head. I only know he is adopted and already talked to his real mother. Nagisa told me that her mother was in the hospital. I didn't know he was Endeavor's son, Karasume said and sighed. But I am not that surprised because it makes sense now, he added. What do you mean? Cementos asked. Karma's quirk called temperature manipulation. He can manipulate the temperature to the radius of 500 meters already. He can make it higher or lower for a second and manipulates who could only feel it. His control is terrifying. In my opinion, his quirk is perfect for assassination. He can kill someone for hypothermia or hyperthermia, Karasume explained. People consider it as villainous and he hated it, especially when we meet him. If it's not for their fallen teacher, I think he would never become this comfortable using his quirk. Same with Nagisa and Izuku. Their quirk is really powerful, but don't really want to use it, Karasume sighed. The staff was still silent as that continued to watch Karma. Then when Karma put wasabi and mustard pack to Shoto's nose, all of them laughed loud and can't stop it. Some of them even took pictures. Aizawa was particularly pleased to see his student suffer. Screen 15, look at screen 15, Powerloader said. Everyone looked at the screen 15 and saw Nagisa, Katsuki, and Izuku. What interests them is the fact that they are full of guns in their body. Nagisa, Sugino, and Kanzaki finish taking the important documents from the school. Then the three immediately kidnaps the principal and 10 other teacher. They talked to them first and told them that they will not hurt them if they cooperate. The 11 student who accept the roles of principal and student choose to cooperate as they got blindfold. The three deliver them in the dungeon. Of course, they treat them well, giving them foods and briefing them to what they will do later. Then Nagisa took a lot of guns and knife, grenade. He went to where Okano's team is right now. He saw Chiba, Yada, Okano, and Fuwa who currently wed due to infiltration they make. The high prison in Demon City looks like Tartarus. It was surrounded by the sea. This fake city wasn't nowhere near to Ua. It's in the same prefecture but far from there. Nezu really went all out just for this test. The fake city was located to an island. It was built with the combined effort of all the UA staff for 1 month. They had an external help, of course. The observation room was placed in the middle of the sea. All of them are in a large boat. There is a road connecting the island and the main road, so it's fine when the villain use bus going inside. Now back to the team. Okano's team infiltrate the high prison and take the information. It's dangerous if Ritsu hacked the place alone. That's why Okano and Yada both went inside to connect to the main controller. Chiba and Fuwa both spread out of the place to check the student who took the roles of high-profile prisoners. Fuwa's quirk called Details. It allows her to see the physical information of those she look at. This makes her more observer than the rest of class. Although it wasn't as powerful as having analysis that scanned them inside out, it's extremely useful in her field. After they connect Ritsu and get all the information they gather, they went back to the shore. After some minutes, Nagisa, Izuku and Katsuki arrive. Their team gave all the information they get and Ritsu connect to their glasses. After another 30 minutes, Karma arrive who looks smug at the moment. I think there is another victim of his wasabi pack. I feel bad for his victim, Fuwa said. They look at Karma who just laugh. He look lovely with those, Karma said, and let them see the picture of Shoto having those wasabi and mustard to his face. Fucking icy hot. Katsuki had the loudest laugh among them and even conspired to Karma taking some copies. Get ready to fight the second year and first year's hero course students. All of them nodded. Okano's team spread out to go back to the high prison. Their mission is the outside, while the four, their mission is inside. Izuku. Just touch Nagisa, Karma and Katsuki as they started grin. It's been a while. Nagisa said. Yep, it's been a while since we did this, Karma said. They all get ready and run above the water. The members of Hero Team who had been eliminated had the privilege to see the entire game like the teachers. They have their own room where all of them could watch it comfortably. While watching the villain team work, they can't help but to feel so small as their confidence started to crumble. Just by observing the team, they could already tell, they don't have any chance to win at all. What's terrifying is, they found out most of them don't have powerful quirks like them. Another crashed to their confidence that a mere people who don't have powerful quirks manage to kill them. They all begun to reflect themselves. Yes, they learned the lesson they wouldn't forget, and now, they are seeing the horror of how their fellow members enter the obvious trap. Villain teams are just playing with them. Juzo even told them that villains is helping the heroes to fly higher in the character of Isegai and Kaide. They can't believe that these two was part of villain team. Just how good they're in acting. Setsuna even concluded that the higher their team fly, the higher they will fall. She also said that should be grateful that they goes out earlier or they will face something no one will want. The four reach the prison as Katsuki do the honor of exploding the main entrance. Izuku clicked the button of the detonator to explode the other entrance from east, west, and south gate. The police and jailers all got alerted. Okano, Fuwa, Yada, and Chiba all blocked the four entrance. Certainly aiming their heads so no one will get out alive. They all kill them by aiming their heads. The bullet they use only have a paralysis poison. Because the bullet that also have a pain-inflicted poison is only intended for the hero team. In short, they only knocked them out. The four immediately enter. Nagisa is smiling, letting his happy emotion spread throughout the entire place. He had a pleasant morning start and was really pumped up for today. Karma is now picking up those who have a fire-based quirk which is around 10 people and lower their temperature to avoid fires. Then he spread a high temperature to mobilize the police and jailers. Katsuki didn't use his quirk that much since Izuku told him not to hurt the others that much, so he had no hand-to-hand and occasionally small explosion from his hand to stun his opponent or his handgun to aim their heads. Pissed Izuku: Midoriya is not someone you wanted to see right now, thank you very much. Izuku told Ritsu to open the jails and alarm. They're going to play with the other hero courses. Nagisa and Karma's combination is already terrifying. Adding Katsuki and Izuku, this team will be an invincible forces. The second year's prisoners all went out to save themselves, but they are greeted by the four who had a lot of splash of fake blood to their body. They all look like a psychopath who enjoy killing someone. Izuku had the most terrifying smile, that his certain father who's watching them shiver. Those Cheshire Cat smile is the most terrifying smile Izuku had. "What's up, fuckers?" Katsuki said while smiling. Small explosion is popping to his right hand while his left hand is holding a gun. Katsuki developed this type of fighting skills with the help of Koro-sensei and Izuku. It's a fighting skills where he could use both guns and explosion at the same time. Katsuki trained to use guns in his left hand more than in his right. Since this fighting styles is he will use explosion in his right side while using gun in left side. It's a hard combination, especially it needs a high body coordination, flexibility, and strength. With the right amount of hard work, he perfected it now. The teachers was definitely look amazed since Katsuki didn't attend Snipe's class in second year. Snipe is the only one who knows that Katsuki had a terrifying skills in gun. Snipe even want to cultivate him, but he said, he already got a good teacher for his gun shooting. Whoever taught Bakugo-kun this gun skills is certainly a pro, Snipe thought. Katsuki had a battle with one of the strongest second-year hero course students. It's a girl that had a flower blade quirks. The girl allows her to create a flower from her hand, she could manipulate it on how sharp it could be. It's a powerful quirk and the girl had a lot of potential in Katsuki's opinion. Too bad, Katsuki had more experience in blade than the girl. Katsuki put his gun to its oscillator and decided to engage combat to the girl. Flower blast. A series of flower blades was thrown to Katsuki, but he smirk intended to show off. So instead of exploding it as usual, he just dodges and even bring back some of the petals to his opponent. The girl was taken aback and create a longer flower petals. She used it to fight with Katsuki. But Katsuki just used the blunt blade he had to his legs and stopped the flower petals. He used the blunt knife and exchanged blows with the girl. The clang of their swords was used, and when Katsuki felt bored, he used his legs and mercilessly kicked the kneecap of the girl. It wasn't that hard, but the girl gets sore because of it. Good job, you have a lot of potential. Just work hard more for you a fucking sword skills. Maybe use some knives too. Don't rely too much to your quirk, Katsuki said and shoot the girl's head. Nagisa and Karma had fun using knives, killing the prisoners. All of them already know, this is an exercise to them. So all of them are giving their best. A lot of them had a potential and really utilizing their quirks into fullest. Like the prisoner, who had a spiderweb quirk work efficiently with a student who had an adhesive quirk. Their teamwork is also excellent. Honestly, the two was more impressed to how the prisoner worked than their own opponent. But this two had 5 years experience in field of underground. They are those people who wouldn't hesitate to use dirty trick to see their goal. Karma constantly changing the temperature inside the high prison. Resulting of some of the students' movement gets more exhausted and felt weak. Added the fact that Nagisa is controlling their emotions, battling with these two giants is a suicide. The two's teamwork is graceful, coordinated, and flawless, with them constantly changing defense and offense. The students was creative, but they don't have experience in field, that's why they lost. After 3 hours of battle, Izuku talked to 3 of the heroes' students before patching all of them to the bruise and wounds they gave them. Izuku had a full lecture to each of them and how they will improve. The hero student take it seriously. Izuku even promised to give them a full analysis after the game, which all of them felt grateful. The 3 students they choose will have more rewards than others in exchange of some participation to their next scheme. The 3 immediately agree after hearing the rewards. So Karma and Nagisa tied them in rope and told them to just wait for the heroes to come. The other student was intentionally knocked out by Izuku before they went out. The four who's outside is lay down the police and jailer carefully before leaving them. Then they explode the part of the prison that don't have anyone to get hurt. Let's go. Knowledge, Ritsu, continued to monitor the system. If the heroes went here, tell us, Izuku said. Ritsu saluted and went hiding. Momo, Su and Bondo all went to the prison. They are horrified to see the mass murder they saw there. Even if there is no smell, just the image of blood makes them nausea. They investigate the area cautiously until they reach the center where they see the three prisoners who's wide awake, full of blood and creating a weird sounds. They had duct tape to their mouths so they can't speak. Bondo and Su immediately out of their instinct untie the rope. Momo is still investigating around the area when she heard an explosion. She looked at her back, seeing Su and Bondo covered in blood and slowly losing their life, they fainted in shock because of it. Momo screamed traumatized to see her comrade die in front of her. She covered her mouth, cried, as she called someone. It took him a lot of time before she managed to call Kaide. She don't remember how long she was there. All she did is to cry and close her eyes telling herself it wasn't real. President Mike announced the two's death before Isegai and Kaide went to take her. She can't even process what's happening in her surrounding when they enter the hospital. This mission is a bit tough, what do you think, Yuma? Kaide asked. Isegai just nodded. A lot of us had a soft spot for distressed people. Seeing Yaoyorozu-san like that is really tough. All we need to do is to help her. Use this to make her realize how she act is unheroic and they changed so much from their initial beliefs. I know those three didn't intended to let someone from the active heroes right now to live, in exception of Yaoyorozu, Kendo, and Todoroki. Isegai looked at the door of the hospital room where Momo was put. How? It wasn't a coincidence that only Asui-san and Bondo-san die, Kaide asked in shock. The three predicted how the heroes will move. Since most of the heroes whose best in capturing was already kill, Asui-san, Bondo-san and Yaoyorozu-san is the most perfect and the nearest among the others. Even with their ego, we can't deny Yaoyorozu-san is much intelligent than others, so it's their instinct to let Yaoyorozu-san to investigate when they saw the three prisoners' body. It's their instinct to move according to their strongest skills. So I'm 100% sure. One of the three predicted it. With them in 8-man team, I'm sure they will create more chaos, Isegai said. Then the TV made a news of the series of chaos their team created. Aside from the mass murder that team did, nobody actually got hurt. The scandal that hero teams got involved, all those rude leads them to complete doom. Now that their brain squad is going out, a chaos is ensured. Sugaya knew he wasn't as powerful or skillful like his former classmate. He was often overshadowed by others and wasn't even one of the best in their class. But one thing that Sugaya was proud of is his skills in art. And now, giving him one of the biggest mission which will use his artistry, makes him excited to do it. It's adventurous, thrilling and of course, he will do what he loves. He was with Hitoshi who's controlling the crowd, and Kami who's covering him from the bigger picture. His quirks was called hand firm. It allows his hand to move in faster but still stable pace. With this, painting and making art is much faster than regular person. Paint a meaningful art that will cause a chaos in Street 7 while not getting caught, difficult. He felt like the task was made for him. He was happy to help his fellow former classmate while doing what he loved with these two who helps him. Nakamura, Hazama, and Kataoka is talking about their own goals going here. They act like socialites dressing up with their best dresses. Although Hazama looked like a gothic chic minus the makeup because of her full black dress. Their goal is to sabotage the other team by making their 4 objectives under of course, difficult task. Of course, the 4 picked objective from the hero's objective was already decided since day 3 of preparation. With their socialite background, the 3 is going shopping around the luxurious lane, using of course, Izuku's black card. When they saw Ochako and Kendo who's walking near to them. Of course, the 3 felt mischievous right now, they went in front of them. Look who's here. The hero wannabes who can't even do their job properly, Nakamura said in fully engaged to her mean roles. I know right. They did even have a guts to display their faces after their failure. What's more here in luxurious lane, God. Did you even have a money to buy even a purse here? I bet you don't have, Kataoka said. It's a bit awkward at first but it flows smoothly on the last part. Don't you know a villain team kills all the prisoner in high prison? Someone also bombed the National Museum, the school, the archive, your members are all inactive now, and you both here, walking on this street like nothing happened in downtown. Are you even that thick face? Karara calmly said. She is just completely honest, which makes the two embarrassed. We are just walking here and Ochako can't even say anything because Karara did hit her spot. They just don't know what to do. Aside from they are exhausted from the chase a while ago, they don't have someone to command them. Shoto was out of the picture as of now and they are finding him. While Kendo is still thinking about plans. Her mind is too messy to be able to come up with a good plan. Just look at your face, God. Your fashion is terrible. Your costume wasn't even practical to begin with. Kipao, and tight suit? Where are you going? Party? Don't forget the aesthetic. I really don't know why heroes use so much bright colors, especially those limelight heroes. Too impractical, too flashy. If they fought for someone who could sneak out, they are practically painting themselves target. Nakamura sneered to them, making the two felt conscious to their body. Oh dear, the people outside this city might worship you but not in this city. We don't need someone like you. You just entered 4 days ago and chaos already begun. We are too peaceful without your presence. You all ruined every's be forgotten like before. When nobody but 3E who rescue us in total chaos. That HPSC used the stability of our city to promote and grasp our home. Sorry to tell but it won't be easy. Nakamura said, glaring to them. The other socialites also glared to the two. Ochako and Kendo just wanted to shrink just to avoid their glares. They started crying while still preventing it. Wake up, being pro-hero wasn't full of pink ponies and unicorn. This is the reality. You are inside the reality. You heroes completely forgot why you choose to become one when the media started to paint you in good light. But those praises will turn into vicious nightmare the moment you made one mistake. Just one mistake, your career will end and no one will care about your well-being, Kataoka said. The two girls completely snap and break. They cried, looking to the three who's looking down on them. You are looking down to others, right? Now that we are doing it to you? Does it feel good? Hazama whispered to them. The two don't want this kind of feeling. Being weak, being useless, and worthless. They felt so negative to themselves. They fly really high and never look down, and now they are falling. No one is catching them because they know while flying they topple many people. You should look back where you came from, so people will support you and push you farther, Kataoka said before leaving the two breaking down. The student who have a socialite roles calls the police station to get the two. Of course, Mimura and Okajima work well with media and report what happened. They are painting the heroes more in negative light. The other students felt completely disappointed to the heroes to what's happening. But they can only endure. Some of them also just realize that heroes are also human. They are not as invincible as the media painted them. They remember how the third year's hero course student was painted to the mass media. It's like they are the most powerful people in the world because they saved their country. Media is also the reason why they are all arrogant and full of themselves. Now that villains is repeatedly slapping their faces figuratively, their confidence is getting lower and lower to the point that they are now doubting their skills. It's only been 4 days, but the result is already like this. Nezu and Aizawa is definitely pleased. Of course the League of Villain was also pleased while watching them in their own prison. Yep, League of Villain is in prison, but a special prison. This prison is like a mansion full of entertainment, their hobbies and comfortable space. But there is only one way to go outside. The prison was put under the Imperial Palace. It was a under-miles underground prison that will take a high-speed elevator 10 minutes before reaching it. It's almost reached the core on how deep the prison is. With a genius plan of Izuku from creating the room that will utilize the heat outside to be the power of this room. There's an internet, but Izuku programmed it to not to be able to be penetrate of internal and external interference. So all of them are free to know what's happening outside. It also allows Hisashi to continue working as businessman. They are like a VIP prisoners in their house arrest. After signaling the Okuda and Takebayashi, they both work together to take away the poison in the hero team's body. While Kaide and Isegai is working at the background, they manage to get Shoto to the museum and put them to the hospital. Kaide went inside and saw Momo wasn't responding. Momo-san. Kaide keep on calling Momo and after an hour of calling here, Momo started to cry. She told Kaide how she was terrified, and she felt down. She saw herself as the most useless team again, downgrading herself just like when their first year. Momo-san, you're beautiful and smart, but you let your ego hinder you. Because of this, you can't reach your full potential. You stop from working hard, you stop from your belief before that you'll be a good hero. You become full of yourself that you forgot the reason why you are here in the first place. Kaide said. Momo started to stop from crying. She was thinking, yeah, Kaide was right. She become full of herself and forgot her own goals. There was this one class. They are studying from one of the prestigious junior school in Japan. But because of their attitude, weak quirk or even villainous quirk, they are cast away as the last section, using them as an example to the other that if they don't work hard, they'll be like them. This class was always suppressed. They don't have the same privilege as those who's in main campus. They are thrown to isolated part, having the oldest classroom at the top of the mountain that had already been worn out the time, Kaide said. She hugs Momo and stroking her hair as Momo listened to Kaide. One day, a weird teacher came and teach this class a lot of lesson. They made them strong, proud of themselves, skillful, and helped them in every way they could to grow. But being suppressed for a long time, they thought it's time for them to show off. They do this. Not in good way. They jump rooftop to rooftop that day, and one of their classmate accidentally land to someone, resulting for that someone to be hospitalized. Their teacher who teach them to be strong felt disappointed to them. He thought he could trust them to use the skills he taught humbly. So as punishment, these class wasn't allowed to study for their upcoming midterms and help that someone they got landed. Kaide continue. Momo can't help but to feel the same to these class. She doesn't know why. That someone is actually an owner of cram school. They teach those kids that don't like to be in school. By just arriving at the school, they found out how bad the situation is. Most of the kids who's studying there experience some sort of bullying, either their quirk, their grade, their appearance, or just their entire existence. These class realize how lucky they are and decided to help. They renovate the school and help the old man who did the teaching to that cram school almost for free, Kaide said and smiled fondly. Experiencing those makes that class remember to become humble always, because there are people who suffering other than them. They become grateful to their teacher that he was teaching them all of that, Kaide said and smiled. What happened to that class now? Momo asked curiously. Her brain is thinking as she listened to Kaide. All of them was working in underground and other heroes without taking credits. Although some of them wasn't as active as others, these class already earned some good reputation among the heroes. They are already an equivalent to a licensed pro hero but still remain in the dark, Kaide said and grin. Girl, being a hero wasn't about media's fame and popularity but giving hopes, saving lives, and making this place better. They got involved a lot in villain rehabilitation because they all believe that some villains deserve second chance. Our world wasn't painted in black and white where all heroes are kind and righteous while villains are all evil and malicious. Some of the villain was pushed to the edge. Some don't have a choice but to become one, Kaide said and smiled. Momo looked at her and smiled too. Thank you. You made me feel okay. I feel ashamed to myself, she murmured. Come on, you're not that bad. You are all just guided to the wrong path. Correcting your path will not be easy, but if you persevere, I know you can do it, Kaide said and grinned. What makes them different to us? Momo asked quietly. Let's see, this is a real story, okay? Kaide said and Momo nodded. There was a girl, she was in her 30s, I recognize her facial features, her brother was a villain. This criminal which have a mutant quirk, it makes his skin like a grass, only rob a rich girl for some quick money. Aside from the people don't hire him as their employees. His mother was sick and needed to be hospitalized. The two siblings work to get money but it's hard to find job because they are mutant, so they are both devastated when her brother was judged to much higher punishment than his crime. One day, in the same grocery as I was, the girl was I am lane of pain in the one and only cashier, when a guy who have a pretty good emitter quirk tried to rob the cashier. This woman immediately dash and mobilize the villain, Kaide said. She looked at Momo and saw that Momo is actually interested to her stories. The security went to intervene, but instead of mobilizing the villain, they pointed their gun to the girl and let the robber goes if I didn't intervene. Now why did they pointed the gun towards the girl when she was the one who mobilized the villain? Kaide asked. Momo took time to analyze. Her mind is wondering why. Because she is a villain's sister, Momo asked. Wrong, but with your reasoning, it's like you're saying because the girl was a villain's sibling they share the same crime together. It's like saying that the prime minister's siblings is also a prime minister because they shared blood, Kaide said. Momo looked embarrassed as Kaide looked sadly to Momo. The gun was pointed to her because she was a mutant. That's the correct answer, Kaide said. That's stupid, Momo said and frowned. And your reason wasn't? Kaide asked. Momo blushed in embarrassment. Another example, All for One is one of the terrifying villain, right? Momo nodded. AFO had two sons, one was adopted and other are his biological son. Two of them wanted to become a hero. One had a decay quirk and the other had the enhanced version of his father's quirk. The one with decay quirk accidentally killed his family. His skin deteriorate after scratching his face, making his face look terrifying. All he wanted was to become a hero or a hero to save him. But nobody likes him so he become a villain. The other one was afraid to his quirk. He never use it and grow up in prejudice of being quirkless. He was bullied by his peer and his supposed to be protector. He grows up insecure to himself. And got involved to a project of the military. Their mission is to kill the rising #1 hero. In the end, both of them become a killer, Kaide said as she looked to Momo. Why did they choose those paths than continuing their initial path they wanted to walk? Kaide said. Momo didn't reply immediately. She analyzed the situation slowly, not knowing her original self is slowly coming back. Because they had no choice since no one gave them a chance, Momo whispered. One had villainous quirk and heroes don't bother to save him. Resulting for AFO to take him in and cultivate him as Shigaraki Tamura. The other one also had no choice because it's a government's order, Momo added. Kaide smiled and nodded. Why you keep on emphasizing the word villain? Momo asked. Talking to Kaide, she was slowly gaining back her observational skills. Not letting anything to her head anymore, she will fight the villain as proud hero who saved people, not as a hero in disguise that she initially acted as. She felt ashamed and disgusted to herself. Why did she allow herself to become like that? She let herself be someone she couldn't recognize anymore. Because the word villain is such a strong word. Villains are those who don't have care when hurting people, loves destruction, and only kill people for fun. The only person who villain is those who do evil deeds without care, and capable of doing large crime. I prefer to call those who have small crime as criminals. They just those people who broke the law, Kaide said. Momo indeed see the difference of criminal and villain. Momo felt refreshed for the first time. She looks pumped up as she smiled to Kaide. I'll fight the other team with all I can now. Without underestimating them, without overestimating my ability. I know from our situation, it's almost impossible to win, without us knowing the villain's identity while them have the information against us. I say it's a huge disadvantage. But Momo smiled without any arrogance. Even if I know we already lose, I will not lose without fighting, Momo declared. Kaide smirked, she complete her goal. She was sure that now Momo is back on her track, the game will become more interesting. Momo knew, just looking their situation is already grave enough. She was sure that they fall for the villain scheme already. She will analyze the full situation later after getting in charge. I messed up the Koritan's presentation. I was really stupid back then. Now the fastest way we could lessen the broken reputation of us heroes is to increase the objective we are doing. Any objective that could be done needed to be done in the fastest way. We need to work hard to shift the public's opinion, which would definitely hard. A lot of our members are already inactive and I still don't know how many of us was already kill. One step at the time and try to deduct the other party's plan and movement. Momo's eyes is full of determination. She was snapped when a knock on her door was heard. Hello, Krieta-san, the nurse meekly said. Momo observed the newly arrived nurse. She have a black with purplish tint hair. She looked shy and nervous and had a glasses. I just want to inform you both that the other heroes are now safe. You can all discharge after an hour. Aside from Firefreeze-san, he was still unconscious. Okuda meekly said. Momo smiled and thanked Okuda, which shocked her a bit but accepted. What happened to Todoroki-san? Momo asked. He was delivered here by Chief Isegai and Kayano-san, Okuda said. Momo frowned and looked to Kaide, giving a suspicious look. Was she? Momo asked in herself. Kaide still looked calm as she smiled. Minami-chan. I told you. You can call me Akari, Kaide said in wink. Okuda blushed as Kaide laughed. Momo-san, let me introduce you, my girlfriend, Minami Okuda. She was currently nurse here, Kaide explained. With this, Momo immediately dismissed her suspicion. It's not rare that someone let their lover be called by different name. I mean, sometimes she called Juru Setsuko, Melody, so she didn't think too much. Hello, Okuda-san. Okuda just gave her a kind smile. Underneath it was a relief that Kaide managed to react immediately. She felt embarrassed to even act lovey-dovey with Kaide. Fire Freeze-san is stable and didn't have any serious injuries. He can be discharged after he woke up, Okuda said. Momo nodded and changed her clothes after saying she can also be discharged. It's time to see her teammate. This time, she'll fight seriously. The moment that Momo discharged all of them, she called an emergency meeting to their HQ. Momo tried to familiarize to the computers in their control room while waiting for everyone to go in the venue of meeting. If I were a villain, where I would hide? Momo asked. She tried to put herself into the villain's shoes and find some place in the map where the possible hideout of villain is. But at the same time, she was looking to the objective of their team. After 30 minutes she had 5 possible hideout of villain and storm inside the meeting area. Momo could see that Ochako and Kendo are both visibly exhausted, so she sighed. Kendo-san, Uraraka-san, please go back to your room and take some rest. You can't perform at its best if you are exhausted, Momo politely said. But, Ochako tried to complain but Momo stopped her. We already at the disadvantage. If you keep on being stubborn, at this time, all of us will fail foolishly, Momo explained. So the two groaned but went out, which makes Momo sigh. How dare you treating out big sis like that, Komori angrily said. If you have complained, set aside it later after this meeting or even after the game. We are already running out of time to deal with all of what happened. Now, we will take this seriously. If I said seriously, you'll act really serious as if you were a pro now. We will put everything we learn in this game. Treat this as if we went in out future and we are assigned in Demon City, Momo said, looking really serious to them. What do you mean? Toru asked, completely clueless to what Momo wanted to say. Demon City is a real city in the northern part of Hiroshima. There's a lot of rumors around that connected to it. But there is a common among them. Demon City is a city of Japan that doesn't have heroes for 10 years. Not until after a war. A group of people started to fix the problem inside, and Demon City is now called Light City. They welcome foreign investors but never a hero, Momo explained. Everyone nodded as Momo explained. Everyone, powered off your phones and I'll disable the camera here. We might be already hacked by the villains, that's why they managed to predict our movement. From now on, every time we have a meeting, turn it off so no one will manage to use it against us, Momo said in sigh. Everyone did those, and when Momo went to proceed telling them what to do. She assigned a 2-man team in possible hideout of the villain while the rest was assigned to do at least 4 tasks within normal and easy. So far this is the most organized movement of heroes after the game started. She was with Yanagi and went to the downtown to attempt to do some difficult task. Momo's focus is the possibilities of villains' movement. Of course the shady dark alley is one of the place where villains are staying. They are probably here. I'm sure of it, Momo said as they ride a skateboard that Momo create. Yanagi moves her skateboard to levitate with Momo too and head there. With them flying, they reached the downtown and saw someone there. Fucking bots. Their default quirk is annoying, Terasaka said, who's in full berserk transformation. His skin is now red and having some smoke because of irritation. Chill out, berserk, Terasaka. We still have a lot of things to get rid of, Meihara said. Meihara's quirk named Enhance Agility. It helps him to move faster than average people. It also helps him to his knife skills, which is what he was doing right now. They are in process of controlling the underground in the downtown. Momo and Yanagi saw the two, killing, villain bots. The two immediately deemed the 3 as villain and Momo signaled Yanagi to use the stone in the ground. Yanagi nodded and controlled the stone, immediately fire it to the 3. But because of enhanced senses of Terasaka, agility of Meihara and shield of Yoshida, they managed to get alert. Yoshida's quirk is called Iron Form. It allows him to form anything from iron. He could produce iron from his body, but it's extremely dangerous as it will use the iron from his blood. It's the pro-hero bastard Emily and Creata, Terasaka irritatingly said. The two sigh and look where the two is. You two are under arrest for murder, Momo said. If you catch us, Yoshida said and grin. The two immediately jump using the side-to-side jumping method. Since the place is an alley, it's extremely easy for the two to jump because of parkour. Yoshida grin and touch the pole that is tall as the building and use it as divider to the three of them and follow the two. Let's go, Momo said. Yanagi nodded and control the skateboard upward the divider. Momo create net that connects to a two-gun. She gave the other gun to Yanagi and told her to shoot them. The two chase the three who's extremely fast from jumping rooftop to rooftop. Momo can't help but to feel amaze on how skillful the villains is. Good thing is she told everyone to put some camera every time they are out of their HQ just in case they saw a villain, they could use it against them. Because of this, Momo managed to record the three killing the villain bots. Emily-san, shoot to left and I'll shoot the right. Make this skateboard faster for another 3 meters per second. Momo instructed. Yanagi follow and add speed to the skateboard that she's controlling. After Momo accurately calculate the gap between them, Momo looked to them determinedly. Point the gun above and shoot it after 3, Momo said. Yanagi nodded and point the gun upward, same angle as Momo. Momo count to 3 and both shoot the gun upward. The net spread and managed to grab Yoshida, the nearest among them. Fuck, chain. Yoshida, Terasaka shouted. Mehara, who managed to call some backup, immediately dash away to the scene using his quirk. Fuckle. We need to go back, Terasaka shouted. Don't worry, they got him. I managed to call back up, Mehara said. They landed to another alley where they meet with Itana. I'll take care of him. Thank you, gun, Mehara, Itana said. Mehara nodded and gave Terasaka to him. Let go of me, you fucker. Terasaka is going on another out-of-control berserk seeing his closest friend get taken away. Itana just sigh and pull out his boyfriend into kiss. This allows Terasaka to calm down. You okay now? Itana asked. Terasaka didn't reply and just keep quiet. Don't worry about Chain, Yoshida, Poison, Chiba. And Vision is already there to take him back. Terasaka sigh and relief. Back to Momo and Yanagi. The first thing they did is to take out the hood and mask of Yoshida. But then Yoshida managed to touch a metal from his pocket and use this to form a knife to escape. He slowly did it and then attacked Yanagi. Yanagi managed to move the cover of the trash can nearby and use it as shield. That's a good reflexes. Too bad, I'm good in invasion. Yoshida. Move in so much speed slicing them in part where it would mostly be more painful. Momo didn't dare to underestimate any of the villains. Especially on the level of skills that just shown a while ago. She creates a tranquilizer and shoot it to Yoshida who's busy on attacking Yanagi. Momo gulp and shoot out Yoshida. Yoshida on the other hand didn't forget Momo, so when Momo shot him the tranquilizer dart, he managed to airflip just to dodge it. Momo almost shot it to Yanagi. But because of Yanagi's reflexes, another trash can shielded her from being shot. This all happens in second when Momo used the air flip as her advantage and shot him. She was shocked that she managed to shot Yoshida in his legs. Damn it! Yoshida said, gritting his teeth. He felt sleep and dizzy but he can't fight it and slowly fainted. Let's deliver him to police station, Momo said sighing. For the first time, they managed to catch a villain. With the recording she get from the camera, it's a solid evidences now. But they didn't saw Chiba and Hayami who just positioned themselves and ready to fire. The two just use a tranquilizer since they only have one last target for today. They didn't intend to kill outside their targets today. So Momo and Yanagi was shot by a tranquilizer too and fainted on the spot. They took Yoshida who's unconscious, then pressed the distress button. That's a good fight, definitely have a potential. But she should ask for reinforcement the moment she decided to chase this three-man team, Izuku said. The three was still wary about what happened in the meeting of heroes. It seems like Momo told them to take off all the camera to their conference room. So he sent Yada to infiltrate the building and put their own cameras in the whole building. It's better to be prepared than sorry. It's our mistake for not putting cameras on our own and relied to their devices. There must be a crucial point that had been discussed during that time. With the way Yaoyuruzu-san is moving, I say she wasn't underestimating Chain Yoshida. This leads for Chain Yoshida to be shot by tranquilizer, Nagisa concluded. It's our mistake and we can't fix it anymore. Let's change the plan for a bit and add Yaoyuruzu to our watch list. If we manage to woke up Kendo's inner will, it will only add our fun. It seems like now, they managed to utilize the advantage we gave them, Karma said and nodded. Looking at the process, there's only 15 difficult tasks left. He calls some emergency retreat to discuss another things. With Momo's inner will going back, the three was sure it will not be an easy win anymore. Kendo is also one that they want to woke up. They are just praying that Nakamura, Karara, and Kataoka manage to awaken it. The game is getting boring to the three, so they creating their own challenge by giving the heroes more advantage. They wanted to work under pressure again. Just like before, it's some sense of security for them. Like Koro-sensei is still within them when they could feel the pressure of their work. Even the others are craving for something challenging since most of their mission is already like this. They're not like Izuku who's active in working with cases and pro-heroes around town. Especially his analysis is really in demands. Koro-sensei and Karasume-sensei did a good job of refining it. And with Nezu's teaching, Izuku managed to break through. We'll do some precaution to what they talk about in the meeting. For now, we need everyone to retreat. Let's move later at evening. Karma added. The two nodded. Momo and Yanagi woke up. They immediately asked what happened. They said that they call for reinforcement. Momo then realized that she forgot to ask for reinforcement, resulting to the villains getting back that African-like villain. But at least they managed to get a footage and image of him. Momo asked someone to try their luck if the archive building had digital version. But the keeper said even the website of the archive building was hacked since the day it exploded. Momo then realized someone might still hacking the website of archive building, so she calls in police department and tell it to a detective. The detective said they will work with it as soon as they could. Now, Momo's priority is to strengthen their standing to the public. Momo checked the narration again and again. Even rules was also reread by them. She can't help but to feel paranoid. She start analyzing the game itself when they enter. She lists out all what happened since day one. Seeing if something happened and how did they manage to do it. But before she does it, she makes sure to give a clear instruction and precautions to them. She don't know how many traps laid by the villain has already been given to them. They didn't do that much in first day and didn't create a big ruckus until second. But they have 33 points. We got a scandal immediately because of our attitude to the chief. It's like they expecting that to have. So let's assume they know our attitude and quirk. With this, we are already in disadvantage. We should really prepare before and know all these is falling apart. You are really an idiot, Momo gritted her teeth. They have sniper and I forgot to take notes of it. There should be at least 6 snipers among them or higher. One of them is Bakugo. They have a computer expert. According to Ojiro, she had blue eyes and violet hair. 3 strategist, Snake, Chaos, and Cryptid according to present Mike. Chain is the one I fought a while ago. I'm thinking why they didn't kill me. What's their goal? Momo continued to monologue, not thinking there is a camera on her room already. She power off her phone and deactivate the camera. Because of information overloading to her, she keeps on forgetting a lot of things to do. Everything is already messed up and she don't know how to fix it. I need to consider the possibilities of traitor. But wait. Momo remember her interaction with Okuda and in Kayano. Her heart bears so fast. Then her suspicion rose in her heart. I need to watch them. Without any evidence, we will only look fool, she thought. She remembered the big 3 and the 2 Shiketsu students. She facepalm again, thinking how she act back then. It's extremely foolish. Yao Momo. Remember we have 32 enemies. 32 is a big number compared to our team with 18 active and 3 inactive. Momo didn't dare to monologue again, thinking all of what happened. She also decided to talk to Ojiro and Shoji about the information they get. She put it on a notebook. Villain team leaders, Katsuki Bakugo. Alias, Chem Quirk. Explosion unknown alias, Cryptid. Quirk unknown 3 strategist Chaos, temperature manipulation, red hair. Snake, blue hair Cryptid, green curly hair members. Chain, iron base quirk, berserk, emotion, angry, base quirk. One with the 2 above, speed type quirk, Ojiro and Shoji infos. 31 villains 13 girls 18 boys computer expert. Girl with violet hair and blue eyes, seen in screen. Red, flexible shapeshifter? Curse, speed type quirk? Ladybug, enhanced sense? Hitoshi Shinso, brainwash, security guard agency owner. Theories at least have 5 sniper, one of them is Bakugo. They have someone proficient in making poison. At least have someone who could infiltrate. 50% probability of red being one. Some had some type of portal quirk. Or technology-based quirk, sniping incident, suspicious people. Former Big 3, Tagata, Hato, Tamaki, appear in the game even if they are already pro-heroes. 2 Shiketsu student, Yarashi, Utsushimi. Yarashi had some bad blood with Todoroki. Baji appear in UA's Civil War games. Watchlist Yuma Isegai. Chief of Police possible traitor due to narration. Okuda and Kayano must put in watchlist due to conversation. Okajima? The photographer last seen with Mineta. Hayami, close relation with Big 3 and 2 Shiketsu student. Itana, Mei working with 3E, might possible be alive. Koda and Sato. Body still wasn't found. Momo continued to put notes to what happened from day 1 and can't help but to shiver. They are like playing with us, she murmur. Krieta. Someone knock on her door so she immediately open it. Fukidashi-san? She asked. We have a problem, Manga said. Momo frowned and looked to him. What is it? Momo said. Manga dragged Momo in living room and saw a lot of them is watching the news. She widened her eyes as she saw it. The stock market was destroyed after someone profit $1 million. Momo immediately know, the economy will crumble within this. But then the news told them that Katsuki Bakugo, the leader of 3E, managed to save it by putting a big money to the stock and letting his team to fix it. Momo clenched her fist. Even if she orders someone to go and arrest Bakugo, with the media there and without evidence, they can't do anything. Let's go to the place. Where is he? We could arrest him now, Kamakiri said. No, no one is going to that site, Momo shouted. What? Are you scared? It seems like you're not using your brain now, Krieta, Nato irritatingly said. You are not the one that is thinking Monoma, it's a big trap. The moment we go there and try to arrest Bakugo, not only will enrage the citizen, the media will have an opportunity to paint us in negative way again in citizen. Aside from that, let's say we manage to arrest Bakugo, we could only put him in jail for 4 hours and he will be released. Either way, the villain will not suffer any losses whatever we choose. But if us, heroes choose to be violent, it will only deteriorate our image to the civilian here, Momo explained. Nato just scowls as the others look to her. What are we gonna do now? Kirishima asked. Momo clenched her fist and looked down. We will stay to our business so we will not suffer a bit. No one will go there. But I have a plan, Momo said. Everyone looked to her wanting to hear her opinion. I think we could ask the Hatsume industry to connect with 3E. I think this is not only a physical game but also a mind games. As connecting to 3E we will have a lot of advantage. With these, we could conduct a private investigation. I also think we can't really fully trust anyone other than our group. Or worst, we couldn't also trust each other. 3E's influence inside this city is stronger than us. By infiltrating them as undercover, we could have chance to win. Our number is already lower than their number and only few of their identity was known to our group. With Momo stopped from explaining when a horrified scream was heard in the room of Ochako. Momo widened her eyes and run. Yanagi-san, Komori-san. Check Kendo-san if she's okay. The two nodded as they went to Ochako's room. As soon as they reach her room, a horrifying scene appear on their front. All they see is Ochako is unconscious, full of blood and was tied into tiny wires. They could see that even her neck was tied by the wire together with her waist, hands, and legs. They could even see the blood dripping at the ground. The girls scream while Momo paled remembering the scene in the high prison. What the fuck? How did this happen? Kirishima shouted. Some of them vomit on how gore the scene is. Check if she's still alive, Momo commanded. Nato and Rin both carefully took out Ochako. Good thing is she's still alive, but dead in the game. Ochako was levitating and whoever set it up make sure that the image might look horrifying but they are not real. Just an illusion. The girls cried aside from Momo whose chanting Ochako was okay. repeatedly, before she sighed and told everyone to lock down the entire building. Everyone did it and the police was called in their headquarters. President Mike declared Ochako dead in the game. Surprisingly, that's the most intelligent plan they come up with, Karma said and laughed. Nagisa sighed while Izuku chuckled. This is what I want. Some challenge. So are we going to accept it? Izuku asked. Karma grinned as he already looked devilish. Why not? By the way, what Ojiro guy did to Uraraka is certainly almost perfect, thanks to Slaughter, Hara, and Ladykiller, Kataoka. They didn't messed up, Karma said. The two nodded as Katsuki looked at them with pity. They have some fucking progress, especially with Momo using her wits now. But they are already too late because multiplied traps was already laid down and most of it was ready to be activated anytime. Katsuki thought. He even knew his boyfriend is working with others for a code they will do tomorrow. He remembered how the crime happened in Hero Team's noses. Ojiro is the one who killed Ochako. He captured her first and knocked her out. Hara helped to levitate Ochako to put the wire to her body without really hurting her. Hara's quirk is levitate. She can't levitate anything she touched just like Ochako. But the difference is, Hara needs to touch the victim again for the second time to deactivate it. And she could only levitate in straight line unlike Ochako who definitely could fly using her quirk. Kataoka's quirk called Appearance Shifter. She could change her appearance to whatever she wants. And that's include the appearance of any object, living people or even camouflage. She could also change her smell just like how her new appearance smells like. She stand as Ojiro's appearance during the crime duration. This task was actually only meant for Hara and Kataoka. But it seems like Ojiro had a personally grudge to Ochako for some reason they don't know and volunteered to do the job so they let him. Shoji was aware of the crime when it was occurring but didn't dare to tell anyone. Yaoyorozu will lose some of her observational skill after seeing Uraraka like that. She might be able to decide what it's right. I'm really sure she'll forgot some details to consider. Should we push her more? Izuku asked the three. Why not? If she could learn to work with pressure and heavy emotion, it will certainly make her a good hero. I'm putting my faith that she will not disappoint, especially after putting a lot of effort for her, Nagisa replied. Izuku chuckled and made a high five with Nagisa. You are really my best friend, Izuku said and Nagisa grinned. Nobody dares to go near to the gremlins who they called Data Duo. Nagisa and Karma is switch. Even if Nagisa is shorter than Karma, the moment Nagisa fought for dominance, which is rare, Karma will be the bottom. Izuku on the other hand is completely the top. At first his classmate thought that Izuku is the bottom. Especially he always acts like cinnamon roll, sweet, kind, and lovable. But he is one of the best example of, don't judge the book by its cover. Izuku as All for One's son is not just a decoration. He was notorious in Hero Underground Society for being ruthless and merciless. Hero was afraid of him being villain. Villain was afraid of him hunting them. This reputation is circulating to the underground. And nobody, as in nobody, even AFO, managed to defeat him in anything. Under the disguise of his personality, which is still part of him, Izuku is a devil incarnated in many people's eyes. We'll accept their partnership then. If she managed to impress Itana, Karma said and laughed. The two chuckled too as Katsuki sighed. I pity them. They become this three's toy, Katsuki said. But Hus' expression is certainly not matching to what he said. Instead of giving them the pity look, he is actually grinning. The three laugh again. Damn right. Karma said. The other member of 3E really genuinely pitied the hero course student in the same reason of Katsuki. 3 p.m. Momo is exhausted just leading the group and thinking the possible traps of the villain. The mental image of her classmates and group mates being killed in front of her also decreased the sanity and focus she had to create and think straight. She's doing her best in this kind of pressure and trying not to completely crumble. She knew how good strategist the three is, and she can't help but to shiver. If this was real, probably they are already dead in day one. She could also sense that the villain team is trying to teach them a lesson. And Momo learned hers already. It's just day 4 but she already learned a lot. You need to calm down, Yao Momo, your teammates is depending on you, she whispered on herself. Hello. Momo jumped in scared when she saw someone sitting in front of her study table. She widened her eyes seeing his hair. Then she realized she could feel that she can't move on her own. Panic rose on her chest as she looks paled now. I won't kill you since we're having fun battling with your wits. I'm cryptid by the way, Izuku said and smiled. He slid the chair and controlled it to face Momo while completely leaning at the splat of the chair. Momo tried to move but Izuku didn't let her. You'll probably one of the students who will last long before being killed. Izuku chuckled, then a chips appear in his hands after he snapped. What do you want? Momo asked. Nothing particular. Just want to talk how exactly you are all in our eyes. Do you even fought someone who you could easily see and predict their next move? That's how you all like in our eyes. It's so boring that you keep on falling and falling to the same trap and only manage to make it different types. Did you even learn anything from fighting that old man? Izuku asked unamused. Old man? Momo asked. All for one. That old man is really smart, he made moves with more paths to walk in. One of the toughest guy the first fought. Anyways, I'm expecting more to you as a fellow intellectual person. Wake up and use your brain to compete, Izuku said. Momo felt useless and looked down. Tears started to fall on her cheeks. Nah, don't cry. You're more useful than any of your teammates combined. You need confidence but not those confidence you had before. Oh god, Izuku said. Momo can't do anything right now. She only looked down and drowned herself in insecurity. May I ask why you didn't voice out your opinion during preparation? Izuku asked gently. Why would I? Nobody will listen. Not even once I voice my own opinion during my time here. I am not a leader type of person. My opinion wasn't as important than others, Momo dejectedly said. And yet you're leading them right now and managed to counter at least 10 of the traps we laid. Are you overlooking the fact that the moment you step in as the leader, you managed to have a little progress than the last 3 days? Izuku asked. Momo didn't reply. I wanted to fight you, not physically but using brains. It's been a while since the last time that we got any challenge and you are providing that to us. I'm here to talk to you so you'll boost your own opinion to yourself. Your situation might be at disadvantage, but if you know how to play your card, and saw the flaw to our plan, you can turn the table anytime. You're smart, actually smart that you outsmart someone with IQ-based type of quirk in your provincial license test. Brain is your asset, calm down and think. Calming down is the best way to be able to see a lot of flaw and obvious things around. Our plan wasn't as flawless as you think. Anyways, since we all want some challenge, we pull some string to help Kendo-san to go back just like you. I think you can ask for her help. I hope you won't disappoint me, Izuku said and grinned. Why did you even reveal yourself then? What's your purpose? Although Momo wasn't expecting Izuku to answer, Izuku just looked amused to Momo. He can see to her eyes that she wasn't expecting any answer. You know, even if you know our villain team's identity, from name to quirk, we will not lose anything. Aside from you don't have any evidence, the narration itself was our advantage. Our roots was already deep enough that you'll have a lot of trouble taking it out. For example, you know Kem, which you know as Bakugo, is a villain, yet you can't arrest him a while ago. You even found out Shinso was one of us. Did you get any advantages? No. Nothing, Izuku said. Momo now realized he was right. Then why did you and your group didn't reveal any of your identity? Momo whispered. Simple, we are treating this game as real. If you still remember the protocols, if you found a suspicious person and had a strong reason to investigate, you'll put them in watch list, which is, by the way, you didn't do. Aside from that, you never investigate properly in the incident, just like the bombing we did in first day, which is stupid and negligent. Never even investigate the killings of heroes. If this is a real mission, this will already been considered high risk and will retreat every heroes to change the lineup. It also means, you all failed the mission. Izuku explained. Momo just listened to Izuku. And, have you ever thought, what if this is already real? That your teammates really got killed? That this game is your reality? What will you do now? What will you do if to face someone with a force like this? Izuku asked. Momo was stuck and widened her eyes. This game's narration was based on real Demon City before the hero system was demolished. We've been working with Imperial family to create a good system to protect those who needed to be protected. Now you experience the cruel reality. Did you realize that your title as Savior of Japan can't always protect you? Actually, it will only make you a walking target. You all stop from striving to be the best, Izuku said. Momo can't take the heat and cried again. Izuku was right. They become dependent to their status, and now, she realized her own mistake. Thank you. I don't know why you are doing this. It's clear that we are only be the one who will gain something from this, Momo said while crying. First, you will improve, and if you improve it means more challenge to us. More challenge means more analysis and thinking. More analysis and thinking means more fun. Isn't that exciting? The game is getting boring, so I decided to add some spice. At least we'll have our own entertainment. That's all. See you. Momo's sweat drop as all the restriction she felt was now gone. Even her exhaustion was also gone. It's like she gets 8 hours of sleep. Her eyes beam with determination as she dashed to Kendo's room. Kendo-san. We need plan. I'll give some suggestion, Momo said. Kendo, who also looked like she woke up from her delusion, nodded. The two covered themselves to a blanket and started to whisper a really low voice. They turn off their phones and take notes to their plan. A risky but bold plan. Was that necessary? Nakamura asked while eating some snack. Izuku grinned as everyone looked at him. What? He asked. You have a big plan. I knew it, Takebayashi said, looking suspiciously to him. Hey! Izuku chuckled. Then 3 big capsule was revealed to them. All of them went to the capsule and almost dropped their jaw. What the hell? Terasaka shouted. This, Okuda said. Some of them burst in tears while others was really shocked. I want our 5th day to be memorable. And even with only an illusion, for one last time, I wanted to fight with him. I know I disturb our memories with our fallen teacher, but… Nagisa didn't let Izuku to continue to talk as he hugs Izuku. He was crying, but at the same time, he was smiling. I understand. We want to fight with him too, even with thus illusion, he whispered. The whole 3E nodded and started a group hug while Hitoshi and Mei was confused. Was he the #1 villain after AFO? Mei asked to Katsuki. He might be a villain, but for them, he is their savior and teacher. Katsuki explained. The 3 was pulled out to the hug because of Okano and Yada. Fighting with Koro-sensei makes me excited for some reason, Terasaka said, grinning. It's scared he could be? Itana asked. Well, I did this with the help of Kami-san and Ritsu. We combined a lot of illusions just to make this realistic illusion of Koro-sensei. We could only use these for 17 hours, and that's the maximum for now since we only started this in the middle of day 2. The day 5 is going to be a blast, Izuku said and grinned. Karma also grinned, looking to the capsule. What about the other 2? Karara asked. They looked to the 2 more capsule and saw Stain and All for One. I see. You want to use their trauma against them. Using this 3, and it seems like you wanted to target that Sonic guy, Karma said. Izuku chuckled and nodded. Of course, it seems like the Stain incident didn't really teach him something, Izuku said. Katsuki, who was just watching them, grinned. Teddy Bear could be really cruel if he wants to, he muttered, but enough for some girls to hear. Kayano, Nakamura, and Kurohashi squeal while the other girls look at him teasingly. Teddy Bear, huh? Who would have known the Great King Explosion murder had a romantic bones? Karma asked devilishly. At least Katsuki had some. On the other hand, you don't have any of it, Nagisa unamusedly said. Why? My dear, Nagisa wants me to romanticize you. Karma grinned while Nagisa blushed. Oi, don't makes us feel more single. We are not dogs, so don't throw dog food. Okajima saltily said. Everyone laughed to Okajima while Karma continued to tease Nagisa. The other couples also laughed and smiled to each other. They are looking forward to work with their fallen teacher tomorrow, even if it's only an illusion. Maybe this time, they will have a proper goodbyes to Koro-sensei and thank him properly to all the things they did for him. That special 1 year of their life. They will forever treasure it. I know that the yellow octopus villain is really important to them, but not on this level, Hitoshi said, looking to their teammates. Yeah, remember those film we watch? It seems like he had a lot of contribution of their growth, Mei said and smiled. Now, they are only waiting for the night to come and another giant waves will overwhelm the heroes again. Shoto didn't know how to react, especially to the humiliation he felt to the fight. His nose is still swelling in his left side, so he continued to regulate his right side to his whole body. He called for his mother the moment he woke up a while ago and can't forget what she said. Yes. You have a twin, his name is Karma Akabane, and have a temperature manipulation. He visits once or twice a month 2 years ago. But it seems like he become really busy in his high school, Ray said. I'm sorry if I need to separate the two of you, but I had no choice that time. I thought I did the right thing. He was happy now in his life and thanked me that he gave up on him. Because he found a place where he will be truly happy. Ray told him how it happened and Shoto can't accept the fact that she lied and now he knew the existence of his brother. He can't help but to be more angry to Endeavor. There is an eerily silence between 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. which only makes Momo and Kendo felt there is something wrong. Momo and Kendo also stay vigilant but makes everyone take a rest a bit because the two have a feeling they will need a lot of energy later. This time is a calm before storm period, and the two will work hard for this time. Their plan was simple: act as if they are an ally to 3E later. They need to show at least to the civilian that the heroes and 3E is now working together. The two knew that physical attack is not the good opinion right now. They also ask for an appointment to Hatsume Industry tomorrow. The two is restless, and when 6 p.m. arrive after they eat, everyone is in their gear now. Remember to not attack anyone from villain team. For now we need to strengthen up our public opinion. Without this, we cannot do anything as we don't have much information against them. And I think they already had our information because of their preparation. Taking risk is the only thing we could do now. This is our chance to turn the table, so please don't mess up, Momo said to all of them. Why would we need to follow your plan? It's not like you're a leader, Monoma grunted. Shut up, Monoma. This is not the right time to argue anymore. Remember our grade was also at stake here. Yes, we done a lot for our task, but as of now, we are performing horribly, Kendo said. Monoma groaned in protest but didn't comment anything. Welder-san, please guide us through the computer. Work with earphone jack and tentacle. You two, please collect every information regarding if there's a big movement outside or not, Momo commanded. The two nodded too. We already lost. I know they already know this. The visitation of Cryptid-san a while ago will serve its purpose later, Shoji thought. The two keep on giving command when Shoto enters the room irritated. What are you doing? Shoto asked coldly. We are preparing to the possible waves of the villain's activity like the second day, Momo said. Shoto glared to her, but this time, Momo didn't buckle up. Did I give any command to all of you to even move? Shoto asked coldly and intently glared to Momo. But this time, instead of cowering like she always do to those who's stronger than her, she equally gives Shoto a glare which taken him aback and shock. First of all, you were inactive after your fight with Chaos, with your status even if you are the leader. The second in command that you assign will gain the authority to command the group. By default, since the preparation, it was me who did the second in command's role, thus giving me the authority. Second, Battle Fist as your co-leader also give me an authority to handle the group, so my command is valid equally to yours. Moko explained. Shoto composed himself and felt more irritated when Momo talked back to her. Are you talking back to me? He asked coldly, clearly challenging the confidence of Momo right now. But Momo keeps on hearing Izuku's voice. Nah. Don't cry. You're more useful than any of your teammates combined. You need confidence but not those confidence you had before. Oh God, Izuku said. Right. I need a confidence for my teammate. If I keep on cowering to him, I am no leader. I am the president of our class, she thought. Yes, I'm challenging you. Let me remind you, I am still the president of our class. You might be one of the powerful duo. It doesn't mean your authority was higher than mine when you don't have official titles. By looking like that, you're not challenging my position as the second in command but my position in class. Why? Are you getting cocky because you always gets away to any of our power before? Momo chuckled coldly. Shoto was ready to slap Momo but Iida and Kendo stop it. Please stop fighting, Kendo shouted. Yeah right, hit me, ice version of Endeavor. You're acting exactly like your father. Oh, right, he hits your mother too right? Then drive your eldest into his death? I pity you Todoroki? Momo laughed mockingly stared to Shoto. Most of the class 3E grasped with the boldness of Momo. That below the belt, Yaoyorozu-san, Iida said. Oh, so his action wasn't, I'm just telling the truth, did I hit his ego hard? Momo asked. Shoto's eyes become cold. He tried to hit Momo but stopped in midair. Momo didn't even blink because she knew the moment Shoto hits her is the moment Shoto will forever bear the name of Endeavor's ice version. Momo clearly knew it. She clearly knew that Shoto hates to be compared to Ha's father. Although it was harsh, Momo thinks Shoto needs a wake-up call like her. So knew she poked the limit of Shoto. She knew what she did might really result to a bad blood, but it's time for him to wake up. Shoji and Ojiro can't help but to shiver. Remembering the access they got from the villain, this is a terrifying deduction. This was the time after the plan to kill Ochako when Izuku trusts them to give reports to what they observe. The move of Momo on powered off the security system inside was risky yet effective to stop the villain's activity to observe them. It's a huge loss, but nobody panics. Talking to her will give them advantage, a huge boost. Which is what we want. But the disadvantage is also a huge gain to us, Izuku said in their conversation. What do you mean? Shoji asked. First of all, what Chaos did to Todoroki-san wasn't an accident but plan. Revealing his identity, Todoroki-san will confirm it with his mother, Rei. Because of this, Todoroki-san's emotion will be stirred and messed up. Calculating to how he move, he will meet you all in time duration between 5 to 7 p.m. With this, Yaoyorozu-san and Kendo-san will give orders to others. Especially right now they're planning something, still don't know what is it, but it's big enough that they will take more risk, Izuku said. The two nodded as Izuku continued to explain. With the newly found confidence, Yaoyorozu-san or Kendo-san will create a bad blood between two people. This might cause a crack. With this we will slowly divide the fraction inside. This is where we need your help. Slowly provoke them and start an argument. But make sure if it's in the middle of heat, one of you should stop them from arguing by making them remember the waves of villain activity, Izuku said and smile. Retreat to gain big. Shoji mumbles. Indeed, Izuku predicted what will happen, so it's time for them to move. These start an argument to the hero team, who once again fall to villain's trap. The two perform what Izuku gave them as their task, creating a small crack to their dynamics. But Izuku also told them that breaking them apart immediately will be impossible because there is a rule that they can't divide their team completely. So what Izuku did is a cold war inside the hero team while they started their next plan. Exactly 7 p.m., the hero team went out to do their task. This time more serious and didn't chase blindly to the villains. With the dynamics of Jiro and Shoji and help from Awase, who is decent in computers, they walk in right goal. The heroes help the villains in preventing crime appearing to the public that they are now working with 3E. It's effective. It's a slow process but effective, especially the media started to put it in national news in their city. Quiet, good move. Karma chuckle. Are we letting them? Takebayashi ask. Of course, yes. This is fun. I wonder what's their next move? Karma ask and chuckle. There's also improvement to their objectives. It seems like they gained much higher point than their points combined today 1 to 3. Nagisa reported, looking to the objective that Hero did for today. Yep. This is the real beginning of the civil war. Karma said and high-five with Ryo. Nakamura giggle with Kurohashi. Damn, just fucking date already. Katsuki grumble, looking to Nakamura and Kurohashi, who both blush. They look away and pretend nothing happened. That's their business, Kachan, Izuku said and giggled too. Katsuki didn't comment more and just focus on their goal. Hitoshi looked amused to what happened but didn't comment. He was just enjoying his beloved coffee while focusing as one of the computer expert in their group. They had at least 7 who could operate computers as flawless, but the others are decent too. The others are still outside doing their work. Until Terasaka, Yoshida, and Muramatsu declare they finished the last goal. Karma grin and look to the list. They officially finish the difficult task in day 4. Day 7 will be the last day of this game instead of day 14. After completing the task, we can just casually kill those team with the flashiest way possible without endangering the others, Izuku declare. Those who heard it who's in their main headquarters are all grinning. Izuku already give them a deadline. They don't need to finish the whole day 14 to teach this heroes how to lose hope in the middle of battle they already lost in the first day. Momo still didn't felt satisfied, so together with Kendo, they started investigating. They went in the archive building personally. Although the building is now built, the people inside is still working to arrange the papers. How may I help you? Hazama asked, who just appeared next to them. The two jump in scare and subconsciously held their chest. Did I scare you? Sorry, Karara said. We are Pro-Hero Creata and Pro-Hero Battle Fist. We are just here to ask about the information of 3E, Momo asked, trying to stabilize her breathing. Give me a reason to give any possible information about 3E. Our city's savoir? Hazama asked. Hazama even wonder why Kendo couldn't recognize her when they just meet a while ago, asked part of socialites. Are they serious? Hazama asked in herself. Was really her dressing up like a doll than just casually wearing anything really different? Or this too is just focused to the investigation? Hazama just toss it out. Since Kendo can't remember or recognize her, who cares? We as new pro-hero wanted to work with 3E. We wanted to impress them, so could you possibly give us any information about them? Momo professionally asked. Hazama receive a go signal from HQ to give 5 profiles to them. Hara, Yoshida, Terasaka, Kanzaki, and Sagino is the volunteer to this experiment. Giving them the profile actually makes Hazama nervous, but she trusts the others to do their scheme. Muramatsu even wanted to volunteer since Yoshida and Terasaka volunteer, but Karma remind him about the Korotan Enterprises. They can't risk letting the heroes knows their connection with Korotan Enterprises. I see. Follow me, the two sigh and follow Hazama to one of the messiest place in the archive building. The papers here was destroyed by an ICE user. So we have only a limited information to them. Here. Hazama handed them the 5 profiles from a vault. They immediately assume these information is one of the most important information about the villain. Good thing is this 5 profile is in the vault. If not, they will be destroyed too. You can take a copy using the photocopy machine, since our higher-ups will not let any document to be taken away here until we finish here, Hazama said. The two nodded, then thanked her before they leave. Those 3 are really a daredevils, Hazama said and sigh. Meanwhile at the teacher's lounge, Karasuma sigh looking to the chaos that his former class did. Nezu is now laughing as he drank his tea, certainly entertained how the game had the chaos he's been missing. Aizawa is grinning, specially to all the things that he witnessed. They just did the things we tried to do for about 3 years. Trauma really builds character, Aizawa said. The whole staff sweat drop while Nezu laugh. If just let me use my normal teaching curriculum, I'm sure this kids will also be good like them, Aizawa added. What do you suppose mean? 13 asked. Those tank and rocket launcher. The curriculum that I'm using was made by Chio. Those gremlins. I should drop a building to them so they learn, Aizawa unamusingly said. Nezu laughed but was whacked by Chio's cane. Shut up, you damn rat. I don't want to deal a lot of workloads. Did you even see the statistic of Aizawa sending student when you allow him to use that curriculum? Chio shouted. Come on, Chio, breaking bone makes you stronger, Aizawa complained. Chio whacked his head with her cane too. You shut up before I rack my cane to you again, Chio angrily said. The other staff wanted to laugh, but Karasuma and Irina are both confused. What? Karasuma. Will you agree that trauma is the key for having a backbone? Aizawa asked. Karasuma wanted to say no, but. I mean, my former students have a lot of it, so I can't just tell it wasn't, Karasuma hesitatingly said. Seriously? Midnight asked in shock. The villain attacked this kid's deal is 3 times the attack UA student's deal, I think? Irina added. The other staff almost dropped their jaw to that. This kids are the former member of Assassination Classroom Project. Or was known to Hero Society as a C Project. They are now a certified people of Imperial family, so their influence is as strong as pro-heroes. Now thus group was called Shadow Guards. Nezu said and sipped his tea. Shadow Guards? Cementos asked. Shadow Guard is the assassins of Imperial family. They're dealing the things that most of the underground hero deals. They have the same features and privilege as pro-heroes, but they have some privilege that no hero had, Nezu said. The whole staff look at him with curiosity. Like they can kill anyone if they had enough evidence and reason to kill that person. And they can conduct their own investigation without informing the police first. There are others too that I am not allowed to tell. I just knew because Izuku-kun is my personally student, Nezu said. All of them widened their eyes. Most of them really hates killing, but at least 5 of them already had their first kill. This group is also the reason why in the final battle, League of Villain retreat even if they are winning. Most of them don't have an ideal quirk for heroism. But that doesn't make them any weaker than any of the top 30 heroes we have, Nezu informed them. I must agree, I did fought with Akabane Shonen Shoita Shonen and Midoriya Shonen and they managed to force me to use my 100% without them sweating much. They are not afraid to exploit dirty trick. But because of it, they get good result, Toshinori said and the staff really dropped their jaw. You fought them in your 100%. Are you out of your mind? Chiyo shouted and whacked Toshinori's head. Chiyo started to lecture him about not using it. Toshinori even need to remind Chiyo that he was already retired but Chiyo just whacked him one more time and told him it wasn't any better. Is this normal? Karasume asked. Yep, Hound Dog said. I really would have a lot of work after this, Hound Dog said and sigh. You know what, I'm glad this kid's wasn't villain, Present Mike said and sigh. Everyone immediately agree. Just look at how manipulative they are. Especially Midoriya-kun. They managed to fool Yaoyorozu like he was helping her but in reality, he was just using them, Present Mike added. I agree. Just his analysis skill could create a chaos without even lifting any of his finger. All he needs to do is to spread those information and someone will do the job for him if he ever become a villain, Nezu said and brew another tea. If they are part of AC project. Does that mean, they are the one that kills that #1 villain yellow octopus monster? Vlad King asked. Vlad King-san, don't call the octopus a monster in front of those kids. You'll regret it. And yes, they did. Nagase-kun and Izuku-kun did the final blow, Karasume said. A glimpse of memories appeared to his head. The loud cries of all his former students while Koro-sensei's body started to fade into yellow light. Those heartbreaking moments of the kids will be forever been in his mind. It's time for the summaries, Ectoplasm reminded. As he looked to the clock that indicated it's already 10 p.m. Oh right. Present Mike nodded and took his tablet. Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're good. We will now let's see to each of their members. Present Mike clicked the button where the dead list was put. We have 4 deaths for today, Pro Hero Vanta Black, Koroirol Pro Hero Plamo, Bondo, Pro Hero Uravati, and Pro Hero Froppy. Which now give us 18 deaths in total since day 1. No other inactive heroes while you have 20 active heroes. So far your team is now 20 out of 38 members, Present Mike said. Some of the staff saw. Hero Team Day 1 overall points. 0 easy, 0 task complete D. Points. 0 points normal. 0 task complete D points. 0 points. Difficult. 0 task complete D points. 0 points Day 2. Day 2 overall points. 125 points easy, 15 task complete D. Points. 45 points normal, 14 task complete D points, 70 points. Difficult. 1 task complete D points, 10 points. Day 3 Day 1 overall points. 344 points easy, 58 task complete D. Points. 174 points normal. 18 task complete D points, 90 points. Difficult. 8 task complete D points, 80 points. Day 4 overall points. 481 points easy, 27 task completed. Points. 81 points normal, 34 task completed points, 170 points. Difficult. 23 task completed points, 230 points. Summary overall points. 950 points easy, 100 task complete. Points. 300 points normal, 66 task complete points, 330 points. Difficult. 32 task complete points. 320 points overall task complete, 198 task complete. Percentage. 66% complete. Hero team perform well today. Having 27 easy task, 34 normal task and 23 difficult task. With the overall total of 950 points from day 1 to 4. But I wanted to give a bad news for heroes, Present Mike said. They could see the tenseness to the heroes while waiting for it in the common room. They could see it in the monitor. 15 task from your difficult and 12 task from normal was already been done by the other group. This total of 27 task will be removed from your list unfortunately, They did it without their villain costume, so they can't be punished using the rules. Number 15. The team is not allowed to do any villainous objectives for hero teams and heroic objectives for villain, or they will have their points be reduced to their overall score as they manage to bend the rules and is it within the loopholes of the rules itself. Present Mike said. The hero team was shocked to hear it and wanted to complain, but they can't. Momo and Kendo immediately looked to the rule 15 and tried to find that loophole. As a villain team, you really shake this game, huh? Present Mike said and looked to the summaries of villain team's performance. The villain team managed stay intact for 4 days. They still have 32 out of 32 team members. Hero teams almost got one to them fortunately. Sniper managed to save them. Present Mike clicked the button to the task and pause a bit. He didn't even realize that villain team managed to finish 2 categories already in just 4 days. Villain team day 1. Day 1 overall points 33 easy, 1 task completed. Points 3 points normal, 2 task completed points 10 points. Difficult 2 task completed points 20 points. Day 2. Day 2 overall points 648 points easy, 34 task completed. Points 102 points normal, 39 task completed points 195 points. Difficult 35 task completed points 350 points. Day 3424 points easy, 43 task completed points 129 points. Normal 31 task completed points 155 points. Difficult 14 task completed. Points 140 points. Day 4. Day 4 overall points 631 points. Easy 22 task completed points 66 points. Normal 14 task completed. Point 70 points. Difficult 49 task completed points 490 points. Summary overall points 1650 points easy, 100 task complete. Points 300 points normal, 85 task complete points 350 points. Difficult 100 task complete points 1000 points. Overall task complete 286 task complete percentage 95% complete. I can't describe this in words, but this is so amazing. You completed the rest of easy 22 task, 14 normal task, and the rest of 49 difficult task. What's more, you managed to do 12 normal task and 15 difficult task of heroes even if you will not gain anything from doing those tasks. You have overall 1650 points with 95% task completion, Present Mike beamingly said. He looked to the monitor and saw the villain team grinning while the hero teams are all shocked. There are still 15 tasks left for villain team to finish. All of them falls in normal task category. Good luck and I hope you do well tomorrow in 5th day, Present Mike said and smiled before going back to the chaotic staff too. They have pool betting already on how many will die tomorrow since it's already decided villain team will won. Hell yeah. Beat those NPCs, Shigaraki said, shouting to the monitor they had on their prisoner. This is really entertaining, Dabi said and laugh again watching what Karma did to Shoto in there in his phone which he recorded a while ago. I wish those fake blood is real. Oh, I like what they did to Ochako-chan, Himiko giggle. Kurogiri served them some tea, alcoholic drinks, and snacks. They have more monitors than the teachers since they also watching the teachers which become their show, especially All for One who was entertained to the fact that Toshinori was beaten by Recover Girl. It's a gold movie for All for One and he wouldn't mind to even watch a compilation of that videos. Maybe he'll ask nicely to his son and he will give him a copy of Recovery Girl whacking All Might's head for being an idiot. Those millions that his son spent for the first time is certainly worth it to have this quality movie they are watching. Kurogiri and Mr. Compress even recorded since first day because they all have a silent agreement to watch it all over again if they are bored. They are not in prison but in high security house arrest. The League of Villains certainly didn't mind staying to their comfortable prison, since they have a lot of entertainment inside. Thank you very much. Look how those who got killed look right now. They looked to the screen and saw those who had been eliminated looks exhausted while watching their comrade fall in the same villain's trap repeatedly. How do you think they will react once those bastard found out Izuku and his team is just making themselves loom fool in the watcher's eyes? Spinner asked. All of them nodded in agreement and grin. They can't help but to look forward for day 5, specially looking to the 3 capsule that the villain team is getting ready at. Most of them woke up early and had a breakfast that Katsuki, Izuku and Muramatsu made. The morning is fairly pleasant to most of them. Okuda that just went out of her room, wad smiling, her glasses was blurry. But her smile wasn't the typical smile of Okuda that looks sweet and pleasant, but it almost as par as Karma's provocative smile while holding a bunch of pills. Chemical, Kayano asks who's worried to her girlfriend's mood. Akari, Minami smiles sweetly and hugs Kayano. Some was still wary but Kayano just let Okuda hugs her. Did you do something? Kayano asked. Yup. Do you remember the incident about Kaho Sachiya and Tomoya Seo? Okuda asked. Kayano nodded. Of course she still remembered that incident. She was the partner of Nagisa disguising as the old couple so the two couldn't use the bathroom. Of course, we did that to avenge Hiroto-kun. Why do you ask? Kayano asked curiously. Well, I developed a stronger laxative than my Victoria's fall. Kayano blinked once then twice, then thrice. She can't help but to remember Okuda's face the moment she did the Victoria's fall. In short, it's a powerful laxative. I call it Victoria's fall, Okuda said while grinning. Chemical-chan, Okuda, please refrain from hanging out with Chaos-kun, Karma, and Dame-chan, Nakamura. I think you're developing a sadistic side, Kayano said sweating drop. Okuda widened her eyes and blush. Oh come on, facade, Kayano, don't be such a party pooper, Nakamura said and put her arms to Kayano. It's a good thing Chemical, Okuda, is going out of her shell, Karma said and grinning. Nakamura nodded repeatedly. Kayano just sighed since she knew she wouldn't win any argument to these two. Good morning. You're all up early, Izuku said who was yawning. Katsuki was following behind him. Good morning Cryptid, Izuku, most of the awake said. By the way, you look tired Cryptid, something's wrong? Nakamura asked worriedly. I pull an all-nighters to fix some bug in the 3 capsule of Koro-sensei, so that our experience with him will be memorable. Just look, Izuku opened the capsule and activate the system of it. Then when it activate, a dusk of wind started to get stronger. The familiar speed of their fallen teacher was felt to each of them. Nufufufu. They heard a familiar laugh that makes everyone froze. Good morning everyone. The familiar voice of Koro-sensei was heard which makes most of them emotional. Some was grinning while their eyes gets watery, while the others just cry. They saw Koro-sensei in his glory, creating wind because of his speed. See, Izuku said and grinned. I also managed to make the duration of using this last longer than 24 hours, Izuku said. Some tried to use the anti-sensei knife that they are using since day for the attack. Koro-sensei. They attacked Koro-sensei using the knife while laughing as Koro-sensei just dodged it. Some of them was even shocked when they felt the familiar wiggly tentacles of Koro-sensei enveloping to their bodies. Ho how. Most of them are expecting a hologram or even a metal skin. But surprisingly, it feels the same as his tentacles. I use the combination of Kami-san's quirk, glamour to other 6 quirks that will create a perfect illusion of Koro-sensei. With the help of Ritsu's data, he have some of the initial memories of Koro-sensei with us. He was like a perfect clone of Koro-sensei, Izuku said. Your brain is truly terrifying. Please don't bother to explain. Let us enjoy this. That morning all of them felt nostalgia of memories hanging out with Koro-sensei's clone. All of them loved it and felt hyper for their day 5. While Izuku let Koro-sensei loose to the fake city, they work with the last 15 tasks they need to finish. With that, they will just play with the heroes without worrying to their task anymore. It only took 2 hours to finish those 15 tasks without even exerting much effort. After finishing the task, they all grin and have a pleasant meeting. May I ask, why did you give them the information about 4 of our teammates yesterday? Yada asked curiously. They will not be able to use that against us, Izuku casually said. What do you mean? Okano asked. Well, the only right information about that folder is their name and the name of their quirk. But the description is slightly tweaked to look more weak than it really is. Then I just put some bunch of lies that look like have some sense when it don't. Izuku replied. This makes Karma and Katsuki laugh so hard. Because of their laugh, the others got affected and laughed too. I don't know whether I will be proud that they keep on falling and falling to the same tactic. We will bait them using Torjin tactic, then they will just fall. Did they even know that seeing tempting opportunity needs you to be wary? Like even Yaoyorozu-san and Kendo-san clearly changing, but their progress is too. What could I say without saying harsh words? Too slow? Izuku asked. Most of them nodded. Even I will not fall for that, Terasaka said. Did we even made a process? Kanzaki asked them. Well, to those that we already kill. Yep, we managed to give them a lesson, especially they're viewing how we play their comrade like a toy. But those who still here in the game. The process are too slow for my liking, Izuku said, clearly displeased to their process and hero team. We can just criticize them harshly after the game. Make sure to use your sharp tongue, Meihara said. They all nodded and grinning. I just remember, we will have some part for their performance, right? Kimura asked. Yep, we have. We will give them a score, then combine them together and divide it to how many the villain team member is, Nagisa explained. As a whole or individual? Mimura asked. Whole group. Criteria have coordination or teamwork, and surprisingly even attitude, Nagisa said, reading the criteria. Will they take it well if we give them a reasonably low grade? Kurahashi asked. We just need to explain to them why they get that grade, and if they can't accept it, we can just intimidate them using bloodlust, Izuku casually said, making the other sweat drop. What about the appointment of Yaoyorozu-san with us? Mei asked. Just accept it and let this two meet them. Intimidate them, then mislead them about us. We'll kill half of them today, then let them rest for day 6. And kill the rest in day 7. We'll lay low in day 6 to intensify their paranoia, Izuku declared. You are really cruel, Cryptid, Karma said and asked. Katsuki nodded and shivered, remembering the times he pissed off his boyfriend. He is much more sadistic and dangerous than Karma and Nagisa combined. I wonder if they even think of putting tracker and audio to those in Yaoyorozu's list? Kataoka asked. None of them answer for a while until Ritsu appear. They didn't put any countermeasures to those lists. Right now, they are just patrolling the area and making tasks. They will meet Koro-sensei according to my calculation. They will meet approximately 2 hours and 28 minutes, Ritsu reported. All of them nodded. Berserk, Terasaka, Take Chain, Yoshida, and Lethal, Muramatsu. And let all the villain bots wreak havoc, Izuku said as his bloodlust seeps. The others chuckled dangerously and really excited to the game. I want all the Class 3B out of the game beside Pro Hero Battle Fist. This is bad blood against some those who left in Class 3A. They always pissed off Kachan. That's unacceptable. Most of them imagine Izuku breathing some smoke in his nose while looking irritated. They felt pity to those who left for the last day of this game. Those Class 3B will surely felt grateful to be out of the game, because those who left for our last day will surely felt why we feared Izuku Midoriya aka Cryptid the most, Okajima said, and most of them nodded. Was that really bad? Hitoshi asked. Izuku is all for one's son. He was also the one who battled with him head to head when the war started and won. Just imagine how terrifying he was, Okano whispered. Hitoshi couldn't help but to shiver. He knew how terrifying villain AFO is. And the fact that Izuku fought him head to head and won, just ho. I'm glad I wasn't in hero side right now, Hitoshi said. Okano laughed to Hitoshi said. It's fairly good weather right now, but most of the heroes are all displeased with the fact that 27 of their task was stolen by the villain. Yaoyorozu tried to find the loophole, but because she tended to overthink, she didn't found out any answer how. The villain team also almost didn't see it, but Izuku, who had a sharp eyes, saw the loophole using the other task and connected. Finding the loophole in that rules need sharp eyes rather than logical reasoning. Yaoyorozu used logical reasoning, that's why she didn't see it. While patrolling, Hero Team saw the former Big Three eating in the food lane. Some of them almost attacked, but Kendo and Yaoyorozu tried to stop them immediately. Those food is really good. Especially all our expenses was provided by them, Nijire said. This role is fairly easy for us to handle. When he invited us to become a guest here, I didn't hesitate to accept. I've been in debt with him. Mirio replied. Tamaki nodded and continued to walk. Their role was easy and simple. Aside from being board of directors of Korotan Enterprises, the other roles they have was to lay the traps that will be used in the last day of the game and to flow the money well in the fake city. They blend in really well and had a great day since they could just take anything. A multiple card that was given to them was all connected in Izuku's black card. They serve as accountant in some ways to help everyone in business course who sign in villain team. They are not officially a member of villain team, but they are under Sage's team, who was one of the villain team and was assigned to collect gained profit in the game too. It is the reason why there are luxurious lanes, since there is a lot of students who came from middle-class backgrounds, so spending money inside the game wasn't a bother to them. To some of the student, this is vacation. Hero team underestimate how functional the city is. Nezu will not hesitate to spend a huge money even from his pocket if he will have this kind of gold entertainment. It's been a while since he had an entertainment. So who is he not to spend money in creating a small functional city when he will have a longer entertainment to watch amusingly at the same time will manage to resolve his biggest problem, which is called heroic students. Of course, he spent a huge money. With the lack of information courtesy of heroes' laziness in preparation, villain teams manage to exploit these advantage very well. Not only they are gaining profit, they also have their fun. And this is a gain to their school performance too. It's totally a win-win deals with villain team. Hato-san, Tagata-san, Tamaki-san, Momo shouted. The three looked to them and smile. Yaoyorozu-san, is there something wrong? Nijire asked. Can we ask a couple of questions out of the game? I mean, if it's not bothering you all, Yaoyorozu asked. Sure. What kind of question? Mirio asked with a smile. Do you know anything about 3E? She asked directly. The former Big Three's smile faded immediately. Kimura, one of the members of police department since day one, taking the role of PO1, is one of the people who works in background. When he told his parents that he will take a role of police in their activity, his parents immediately offer him to give him a custom uniform. Of course he accept the offer even if Izuku wanted to be in charge to every costume they will use. And because he is police officer, some of the hero task was still been completed by the villain team. And he was one of those who still want to do some of the task. They clearly want to deprive the heroes for points or just let them barely past. It's one of the reason why the villain finished their 300 task for 5 days. So they could sabotage the heroes. Their higher-ups give them a command to kill all the Class B. Him carrying a gun is acceptable in his roles, so when another command from them was given to him, he immediately accept the mission. Kosei Tsubura pro hero name. Air is quirk. Solid air. Soraku Kikigyogyo Katako. Kukigyoko. Kosei's quirk allows him to solidify any air he breathes out, allowing him to create invisible walls and/or platforms. The solidified air continues to stay afloat in mid-air, even if someone is standing on it. The size of the wall or platform depends on his lung capacity. Fighting techniques. Air prison. Kosei refined his quirk since the camp arc, and is able to send out squares of air, and shape them into a box to imprison his opponent. Command isolate the target and kill them using their own quirk. Use the number 3 kit if ever being imprisoned to his air prison. Note he is relying too much in his quirk. So once you broke his confidence, use that advantage to do your goal. It was written in English when it was given to him. All of them become really proficient to this language thanks to Irina. All of them had at least 3 language aside from Japanese. In English is their common language that they agree to learn together. It's really convenient since not everyone could understand the language very well. All thanks to Irina's painstaking effort for them to be proficient to many language. Izuku is a whole lot level compared to them who had more than the language that Irina knew. Karma and Nakamura is one of those who came second to him. So when Kimura get the mission, he ready himself and put his police costume. He took out his badge so it would look like he dress himself as a police and don't have a real rank. Just after talking to Ritsu, he gets Subaraba's patrol route. He asked for Ritsu's help to hack some bunch of villain bots to wreak havoc to a restaurant. Ritsu immediately agree. In just a second, the villain bots wreak havoc to a restaurant. This is it. Kimura breath first and run towards the direction of Subaraba. Hiro-san. Kimura shouted. Subaraba stop and look to where the voice came. Then Kimura jump in front of him, acting as if he was panting. You're pro-hero heiress, right? Kimura asked, still acting breathless. Yes. Something wrong? Subaraba asked. Kimura nodded and stand up straight. There's some villain in the restaurant nearby who's wreaking havoc. We need you to contain them because their quirk is pretty hard to deal with, especially it's a long range. I already asked for Chief Isegai for some help, but it will take 5 more minutes before they got here. There is already a hostage that the group have, so we can't move until we have a support either in 3E or to pro heroes, Kimura said while observing the body language of Tsuburaba. His jaw is tightened as well as his fist. His eyes darken, which means Kimura's wording provokes Tsuburaba the most. It's his goal after all, letting him to be compared to 3E and rub to him that he was just an option. I'll do it, Tsuburaba said and walked with Kimura. A small smile plastered to his face and was proud to himself that his lesson with Izuku really paid off. He knew using words and word manipulation is a good skills. It's one of his weakness before, and now, he was decent compared to those excelled to his classmate. He is above average to normal people. It's not like they are normal, so their scale is also high. The two went to the restaurant who had been arranged already for the scheme. All of the students and civilian bots are covering themselves and curling up in certain pattern. If Tsuburaba is a bit observant, he will see that everyone's place is high, unusual to normal hostage taking. But he only focus on the villain bots, the result of Kimura's wording a while ago. The moment they enter, the restaurant's emergency button was pressed by someone and all the glass is now replaced by black metal roll-up. The place was already highly sealed and all the civilians and students who have a civilian roles was taken out by the speed of Kimura. His footwork quirk is highly flexible and he managed to put them to the kitchen staff place and let them go out. Now the only people who's the inside is the villain bots, Kimura and Tsuburaba. Tsuburaba immediately blow a solid air from his mouth, highly alert to his surrounding. He can't see anything, unlike Kimura who just took out his police uniform and now fully wearing his villain suit. He was just waiting for Izuku's voice to be heard by the speakers in the restaurant. Tsuburaba Kosei, pro-hero name, Eris, a member of heroes who had been disturbing Red Kam's city. Your quirk allows you to solidify any air you breathes out, allowing you to create invisible walls and or platforms. The solidified air continues to stay afloat in midair, even if someone is standing on it. The size of the wall or platform depends on your lung capacity. Such a wonderful quirk with a lot of potential to be a terrifying quirk, but you could only do a shield and air prison as your attack. Kimura moved with a smirk. He made an unpredictable series of attacks to Tsuburaba, punching him, hitting him, basically playing him in the process. Tsuburaba blow a series of solid air to the direction he thought Kimura will go after hitting him. It creates a shape of box while he blow them to certain place. The place was too dark for Tsuburaba to be able to see clearly, but Kimura on the other hand had a night vision goggles. He used the villain bots, basically destroying them in process so that Tsuburaba will continue to blow his quirk in random place where the sounds came. Pathetic. Is that all you got? Air should be your domain. It seems like you stop on making progress to your own quirk, Izuku said in speaker. Kimura took it as another sign. He took out his knife and was ready to use it. He wasn't as good as Meihara or Isegai. Heki knew he will not be able to reach their capability in those area. But it doesn't mean he don't know how to use it. With that, Kimura started to throw the knife towards him. Those knives are blunt and will not really hurt them gravely, but it was soaked to a chemicals that will make the nerve cell known as nociceptors react and deliver a message to their brain that they felt pain. The chemicals will force them to release a neurotransmitter within the cells. Aside from that, once the knife had a direct contact to the skin, a fake blood will be released based on the pressure it hits in the skin. So even without the really wounds, they will look and feel like being contacted by the real knife. The knife was made according to Izuku's print, was mass production by Mei and Itana, and the chemicals was made by Okuda. He wasn't as gifted as them, but he will do his best. And now he had a chance to prove himself. Fu, come out there and don't be a coward, Tsuburaba said irritatingly. Due to the fact that he used his quirk repeatedly, he was out of breath now and felt that he was near to the limit of himself. He is out of stamina, which is the right time to do the next phase. Kimura told Ritsu to open the metal roll-up and let Tsuburaba saw him. He deactivate his night vision, but his eyes is still cover. You, Tsuburaba said in shock. You're one of the 3E. Tsuburaba said. Kimura wanted to laugh but tried to stop him, with them saying the obvious. He thought. He didn't reply and attack him. Tsuburaba got caught off guard to the knife attack of Kimura. But he managed to slap the arm that Kimura used to hold the knife. When he thought is he safe, because the arms was in high place. His focus is in the hands that is holding the knife, so he didn't see the punch coming from the left followed by a kick from below. You forgot I have 2 arms and 2 legs, Kimura said using the robotic voice changer he had in his mask. Damn it. Tsuburaba gritted his teeth and blow another air prison. Kimura let him get captured by the air prison. Tsuburaba smirked and looked down to Kimura. Huh? I thought you're strong. You not being in the dark means I won, Tsuburaba said with smug. Tsuburaba thought Kimura's quirk had a connection to darkness like Kuroiro. Kimura sweat drop and looked to him with surprised face. What the? This group really surprised me more than the usual. How did they even survive the 3 years worth of training? That's not how it works, Kimura thought. I am not a one puny trick person, Kimura said and smirked under his mask. Tsuburaba looked to him in confusion before Kimura clicked the button to his hand secretly and touched the solid air. It cracked a little and then it got bigger and bigger until it shattered. Tsuburaba was taken aback and looked shocked to what happened. What? Tsuburaba is shaken in fear, looking scared in front of Kimura. What will you do now that your quirk is useless? Kimura asked. Tsuburaba gulped but stand up and tried to punch Kimura. But all his attack is sloppy, slow and predictable. Kimura just dodged it for a while before he catch his arm and forcefully broke it. He put his broken arms to his back and pushed him to the ground. I'll kill you if I manage to get out of your grip, Tsuburaba shouted. Kimura's entire aura suddenly changed. From the fact that he is fighting him without bloodlust gives Tsuburaba a little chance to fight back. But now, when Kimura heard the word, kill, this changed and he felt his bloodlust seep. I'll let you feel how to be kill, Kimura whispered to him. Tsuburaba screamed before Kimura smirked. He slashed his arm and then stand up. He kicked his stomach while looking to Tsuburaba with intent. Curse, Kimura. It's fine, please calm down. Finish him now. Hearing Izuku's voice, Kimura managed to snap and sigh. Those words was like a magic. Kimura whisper. It's the reason why Katsuki never said those words in front of any 3E members. He threatened them but never said, I'll kill you, or, die. He already learned his lesson and now, Tsuburaba will. Tsuburaba whimpered before Kimura slashed his neck and knocked him out. With this, President Mike told them that Tsuburaba was killed as Kimura went out of the restaurant wearing his police officer clothes and blend to the incoming police and heroes.